I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, The Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D, and we are live on this beautiful Wednesday. It's still morning. It's 10:30. I'm running late. I get it. I had some personal stuff that I had to take care of. I had to get it done. Was not expecting to be late and just had to get it done this morning. So I'm here, though. I showed up. I came to play. What's up? Good morning to my Fins family and my Fin-laws on this beautiful Wildin' Out Wednesday. We'll call it a lunchtime special Wednesday. That's what we're going to call it today because it's a lunchtime special. I started like an hour and a half late. I apologize. I'm going to keep on apologizing, but I love you guys. Just know that I'm here for y'all every day. That's what I do. Want to say good morning to my Fin-laws and my Fin family again. The Clock Blockers, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show. Today, the #1 lunchtime morning show. Want to let y'all know I am Stephen D. You can follow me on social media at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Make sure y'all do that. Let's see here. Make sure you follow Miami Sports Music at Miami Sports Music, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Let's go. Also, you can follow them on Twitter at MIA Sports Music. Make sure you follow them up there too. Also, hey, look, hit the like button, hit it, tap it, whatever you got to do to it. Just give me the thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all do that this morning. Hey, look, you want to sign up, become a member of the family. There are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. We'd love to see you sign up and become a member of the family today. There are plenty of people that it means a lot to when you sign up and become a member of the family. And it's not just me, it's the other family members like Alan and Trucker Sean. And who else we got up in here this morning that's a member of the family? AA is a member of the family. It's a big deal when you guys sign up and become a member. So join now, sign today in the link in the chat, as well as in the description below. You can sign up and become a member. Hey, if you want to help the channel grow by donating, there's lots of different ways you guys can do that. You can help the channel grow by donating by using the YouTube live super chat, which is the $sign down at the bottom of the chat. You guys can also use Cash App, which is $MSM Podcast Network, or PayPal, which is MSM Podcast Network. Very easy to remember. I do want to remind y'all, if y'all donate through Cash App or PayPal in increments of 10, I will double your entries into our weekly giveaway that we do each and every Friday here, courtesy of ZSM Sports. Okay. This week we are giving away, we are raffling off a Patrick Surtain autographed aqua jersey. It is awesome. Check that thing out. That is what we are giving away. So make sure you donate to the channel. If you donate $50, I will triple your entries. If you donate $50, I will triple your entry, and that's whether you do it on Cash App, PayPal, or YouTube. But we're trying to raise money for the channel, so please donate. It's a big deal, and you also get a chance to get something back, which is pretty awesome. This Patrick Surtain jersey. Make sure you guys check that out. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Tail Greeter, an amazing sponsor of the show. Make sure you download the current app on your current Apple or Android device today. You can follow Tail Greeter on social media at TAILGREETER. Make sure you follow them today. They got a lot of cool stuff coming up. All right. All righty then. What's going on? Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. Who do I have in here in the chat this morning? I already said hello. AA, Alan, Jose, Andres. Yes, I know I'm late, Andres. I apologize. I got Squid Games. What's up? Can I get a fins up? Fins up, baby. What is going on? Batman 2423. What is up, Batman 2423? Host of the Miami Sports Fanatic Show. How are you doing, brother? Good to hear from you. Trucker Sean is in the building. He's listening to Batman's show. Bones, great morning. We're getting Debo this week. Hey, you never know. You never know. You don't know. Who else is in here watching this morning? Put it in the chat. Would love to hear from you. This is going to be y'all show. We're going to do a panel show here in a little bit. But I want to open it up with a few different things to kind of go over. Big night in the NBA. As you see me repping the Heat, this old ABA Miami Floridians hat today. Big deal in the NBA last night. Miami Heat winning 97-94 over the Atlanta Hawks and clinching the first round of the playoffs. That's right. They are heading to the second round of the NBA playoffs. Who are they going to play? Not sure. It's starting to look like the Philadelphia 76ers might be that team, but we'll have to see. But here's the big deal about last night. They clinched last night, right? And they clinched last night without their top two starters. Which was great. And Victor Oladipo coming in last night, dropping 23 points on the Miami Heat. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing last night seeing Victor Oladipo come in. I'm telling you, to have Victor Oladipo come in the way that he did last night and drop 23 points on him is unreal, honestly. Bam got 20 points last night. Max Struss got 15. Tyler Herro got 16. Caleb Martin got 10. So even though the top two players did not play last night for them in a clinching game, nonetheless, let's just throw that out there. They still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in double digits. They stepped up where they needed to step up. Atlanta Hawks almost made a great comeback in the fourth quarter, but the moral of the story is they clinched game 4. They did it in 5 games, which is what I predicted. I said Atlanta will win 1, and they're going on to the next round. And I think it's going to be Philadelphia the way that it's looking right now. Philadelphia losing on Monday 103-88 to the Raptors. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. It'll be very interesting. Grizzlies, if you all missed that last night, that Memphis Grizzlies Minnesota Timberwolves game was absolute bananas. Grizzlies won 111-109. Timberwolves looked like they had that game, but that's not even the real thing. There was an amazing dunk last night by Ja Morant, who's arguably one of the funnest players to watch in the NBA. I can't replay it because I'll get flagged, but let me tell you, you should go look up Ja Morant dunk. It was crazy. It was crazy. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens. I'm pretty excited to see what happens in the NBA playoffs. Haven't seen the dunk, Steven. You should, man. It's awesome. Awesome, crazy dunk. So tonight, just so y'all know what is happening tonight, the Bulls and the Bucks play game 5. Nuggets and Warriors play game 5. Raptors and Sixers play tomorrow night, and that'll be the big game. We're starting to look at, it looks like Tuesday is going to be the game for the Sixers. Tuesday will be the Sixers. Well, whoever we play. It's starting to look like Monday or Tuesday will be that game for the Miami Heat in game 2 of the next round. So they got a few days to just kick back and relax, which I like. But if Philadelphia wins tomorrow night, probably Monday. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. But I'm excited nonetheless. All right. Enough about that. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today, shout out to you guys for retweeting and dropping the link on Twitter. I really appreciate that. Are draft day trades. Draft day trades are something that I wanted to talk about a little bit this morning before I started bringing you all on this morning. I think, look, there's a lot of stuff swirling, right? There's a lot of stuff swirling. We don't exactly know who or what is going to be on the move, but I know that there's a lot of unhappy players out there. There's a lot of people with a lot of draft day, funds and draft day capital, and it has to see where they're going to use it at. I'm interested to see. There's a lot of players out there that I'm like, what's going to happen here? Big Drip ENT, I appreciate the retweet, man. I just saw it up there as it just popped up. I don't know who's going to get traded. I do think there's going to be 3 or 4 big trades on draft day that include 3 or 4 big names. One of them being Deebo Samuel. I'm convinced Debo's going to get traded. Do I know where he's going to bring him up? I don't know. Batman, it sounds like you got the sauce. Let me drop the link in here for Batman to come on, and we can talk a little bit about that, Batman and I. And then I'll bring the rest of y'all on in a little bit after that. The link that I'm about to bring on is for Batman. So here's Batman. The link I just put in the chat is for you, nobody else. Because I want to talk about potential trades. Another name, the reason I wanted to bring it up, was Laramie Tunsil. Laramie Tunsil is on the trading block. Where will he end up? Will he get traded? Could he come back home? Interesting to say the least. I would love to see us trade for Laramie Tunsil and then all of a sudden become this Pro Bowler again. It would be the funniest thing in the world to me. It'd be the biggest story, in my opinion. We'll have to see what happens, but it's interesting to see that nonetheless. I mean, there's a lot of other players that are up there, right? Jimmy Garoppolo's Garoppolo going to get traded? Where's he going to end up? There's a lot of players. Kadarius Toney. What are the Jets going to do? Are the Jets going to make a trade? Can they make a trade? Because it seems like they want Deebo Samuel, by the way. But Deebo doesn't want to go there, obviously. And, he's going to put up a fight for it. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. We'll have to see what happens there. Well, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens tomorrow night. And I think a lot of them will go down tomorrow. And you might see a trade or two today. That's possible, too. We'll have to see what happens. All right, let me bring in from the Miami Sports Fanatics show, Batman 24. This says 2424. Are you 2423 or 2424?
Should be 2423. I got to change it.
What? Here, you know what? Let me help you out here, partner. Let me help you out here. I'm going to change it for you. 2423. Bam. I changed it for you.
Appreciate it. It's a Kobe Jordan number, 2423. You can't forget. Can't miss that.
Oh, we're not even going to get into that this morning. So what's up, man? It sounds like you got a lot of the sauce when it comes to you're hearing a lot of rumors.
Last night, Mauricio Arteaga, he came on the show and he dropped a crazy sauce.
Shout out to Mauricio,
yesterday.
By the way. Shout out to Mauricio.
And so there's a lot of stuff. Obviously, up until let's say 30 hours ago, Miami Dolphins offered Christian Wilkins and Byron Jones and a first-round pick and a fifth-round pick, I believe, for Deebo Samuel. And basically, San Francisco gave the Jets 24 hours to re-up their offer to beat Miami's. Miami was clear-cut going to take that. Apparently, the Jets, they're reluctant to give up that 10th overall pick in the draft. But apparently, Miami re-upped what they initially offered, which is what I just mentioned, which is insane. And, part of the deal with Deebo coming to Miami involved, franchise tag. Cam Robinson agrees to 3-year, $54 million deal.
I just saw that. Yeah, Cam Robinson agrees to franchise tag with the Jaguars.
That's huge. So, yeah, pretty much Gesicki, there's a lot of rumors. I had heard about Green Bay possibly, now that their ballers out as far as the trade. Look out for Green Bay and Mike Gesicki. They're willing to dangle that first-round pick if we could attach a pick with Gesicki to get Green Bay's late first-rounder. Yesterday, Mauricio said that he heard Arizona for Gesicki for a second-rounder. It was in play as far as if Deebo were to come here, Gesicki was going to be shipped to Arizona for a second-round pick for this year, which is very good because we could use that pick in this year's draft. And remember, guys, I told you guys about 3 weeks ago, as much as I like Gesicki, I'm right next to Joe Lee and Miss Spins when it comes to Gesicki fans. And I said Gesicki's going to resign with the Miami Dolphins as far as the franchise tag. He's going to sign his tenure. I told you guys by September, I don't expect Mike Gesicki to be a Miami Dolphin. It's by September. So
yesterday, I was asked the question during chat question time, whatever you want to call it, and it was asked to me, who is the Dolphins player that that nobody's talking about that you think will have a big year coming up? And I said Durham Smythe. I think Durham Smythe is going to have a big year for the Miami Dolphins. And partial reason for that was him and his ability playing in a Mike McDaniel offense. And the other was, I have also heard through back channels that the Dolphins are shopping Gesicki. And I don't know if it's true. I'm not a big fan of the sources or anything like that, the sauces, but I haven't heard a lot of chatter about it. And so, Durham Smythe, I think, could be the guy that ends up stepping up in that tight end position over Hunter Long, actually, in my opinion. You there, Batman?
Yeah, I'm here. I just have to mute myself. There's a lot of, I literally parked on the side of the road. Gesicki, like I said, name hasn't been dangled until like the last 24 hours. I've been hearing about it. And we have 5 tight ends, Steven. We got 5 tight ends on the roster right now, And at the end of the day, Miami's going to move one of them, whether it's Shaheem, whether it's Gesicki. They're going to move somebody. Like I said, I am actually going to the draft down here in Miami. It's not gonna be at the stadium, obviously, because of the Formula One thing. But I am gonna go because I do expect Miami to move up in the draft. What we've been told.
Not Thursday night. Not Thursday night.
Yes, Steven. Yes, Thursday night.
You think they're getting? You think they're jumping back into the first round?
So we've been told, and it's exactly what Mauricio was told as well, is if the Miami's targeting 2 specific guys. If they fall in the first round and they can be had, expect a trade with either Arizona at 23 or somebody else in the later round, later of the first round. And those 2 players being Tyler Linderbaum, the center, which is a transcending center, according to JP. JP knows the stuff. He's the best center he's seen prospect in 20 years in the NFL draft. That says a lot because I think it was the Pouncey brothers. But Linderbaum, if he falls and he manages to fall somewhere between 23 and 29, or even the second round, Miami is expected to trade up for him. And the other position is linebacker. There's a lot of rumors with Nakobe Dean, possibly now with his injury falling in the draft. Miami could make a push for that. Miami's targeting, in reality, they're targeting about 3 guys, 2 from the same position, center and linebacker. If they are available, Miami will trade up in the first round if needed.
Look, I'll say this. My thought is, and I don't know this, and again, I don't have sources, and I'm not claiming anybody's sources are bad or good. I don't think they move up into the first round. I think they'd have to get. What are they going to give up to move into the first round? That's the next question.
So it definitely involves future capital. The Dolphins are expecting to keep their capital, but that's why I say if these 2 players or 3 players are there, Miami will mortgage the future to get them. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said.
So if these guys drop to 23 plus, if they drop late into that first round, they're going to jump into that first round on Thursday. Dude, that would be one heck of a story. I'll say that.
I'll say this, for any movement to be involved, and this is something that I've been alluding to, and Mauricio was able to confirm yesterday. There's a reason why guys like the Honey Badger, J.C. Treader, a lot of these free agents have not signed with any team. Debo is a domino piece that the NFL is watching right now, and we're talking about free agent players other than what we've heard about. Once Debo gets traded or whatever happens with Debo, there will be a domino effect throughout the NFL. So expect players like Honey Badger, expect players like J.C. Treader signing. Debo, in a sense, is holding everything up. And again, if Debo gets traded, Miami has a deal in place with Gesicki going to Arizona. That's only if Debo gets traded to Miami. Miami has a deal in place.
If you had to put a percentage on it, what is the percentage or the likely percentage that he gets traded to the Dolphins?
Well, up until yesterday at 5 p.m., I was at a 99.9 percentage that he would be a Miami Dolphin. Up until 5 p.m. yesterday. Around 5:40, we got news that the Jets overpaid as far as an offer. So I went to 30% that he would be a Dolphin. But late into the hours yesterday, we had Mauricio. He was on with us until like about 2 or 3 in the morning. And he was getting constant updates. Debo left the facility yesterday, and he's pissed off.
San Fran.
Yes. He doesn't want to be a Jet. He made it clear. His family doesn't want him to be a Jet. They don't want to go to New York. And again, the Jets are making a mistake. It involves the 10th overall pick, a second rounder, two second rounders. It's a lot.
One of the things that I said is that I was on and I had TD on I guess a couple days ago, and I said, maybe, I don't know if it was TD or somebody else, but the thought to me was, look, if you trade for anybody, it comes with the guarantee, the verbal guarantee that, hey, I'm going to sign a contract extension and be here for a long haul. I said the Jets are one team that would make a trade without having that verbal okay that player is going to sign an extension. Why? Because of this. I said the Jets are desperate. They're very desperate. They need to show their fan base that they can do something. And so if they were to go out and get a Deebo Samuel, it would be with the intention of Deebo saying, hey, look, I might come play for a year with y'all, but I'm not guaranteeing that I'm not signing a contract till a contract extension. I'm going into free agency the following year. Now, you'll have a chance to sign me, but I will say this. I personally think if the Jets get him, he doesn't sign a contract extension, and he will go into free agency next year. They'll franchise tag him, but it'll be a big war. It'll be a big mess.
So they could franchise tag him, but he won't play. He could sit, I will say this.
I do think he gets traded to the Jets. I think that's ultimately where he ends up, but it's going to be drama. Drama with a capital D.
And again, shout out to Mauricio, man. He got the sauce. He got the news. We got numbers yesterday as far as a contract for Miami, and after the signing bonus, he's making $16.5 million a year as a Miami Dolphin.
Who? Deebo
Samuel. 16.5.
If he comes here.
Yes.
Now that will be with
on a 4-year deal. 4-year deal with 20. I forgot how much it was guaranteed, but it was when it was divided by 4, it was $16.5 million per season for Miami on a 4-year deal.
So let me ask you, and I'm not trying to. I just want to say, so they already had numbers talked. So I feel like if their numbers would talk, then the deal would have already been met in place, and San Fran would have been okay with numbers being discussed between Deebo's, team and the Dolphins.
What was that again, Steven? Because it's loud over here. The plane.
It's interesting to say. It's interesting to hear that there were numbers discussed between representatives from Deebo's team and the Miami Dolphins when there's no active deal in place for that. I find that interesting.
The thing about it, Steven, is the sources, the plugs where Mauricio and most of the guys hear their stuff from. He is a current member of the San Francisco 49ers.
Correct.
So, that's why they're able to get all these things. And they even have agents that work within the team with certain players on the team that reach out to, guys like Mauricio.
It's all done through back channels. It's all done through back channels.
Yes. And remember, it's a process. Even if New York is the team and they have the deal in place, we might not hear anything until the draft. Everyone's expecting something to drop this morning, but
I don't think anything goes down today. Maybe a trade this afternoon. I don't think it's for Deebo. I do think there's a trade in the works in the NFL that might get released this afternoon, but I don't think anything goes down till tomorrow.
Let me ask you a quick question, Steven, and I'll answer mine real quick because I said I gotta go real quick. I'm at work. If you're Miami and we don't move out of the 3rd or the 4th, what are you doing with those picks? Like, I personally would want to get I'm going running back and I'm going inside linebacker in the 4th. What would you do?
Well, I said this was a question that was brought up to me yesterday on the morning show, and I said that I believe the Miami Dolphins, if I was running it. Now, if I was running it, I would say offensive lineman all day, interior offensive lineman. And whether it's center or guard, that's fine, but it needs to be somebody with a high upside. If I am thinking in the form of Chris Grier, what is Grier going to do? I think Greer's going to take best player available in the 3rd round, no matter what the position is. I do think he's looking for an interior O-line. I do think he's looking for inside linebacker. But let's say there's a value with a safety, or a value with a running back, or a value with a wide receiver, or a value with a tight end. I don't put past anything that he won't say, well, this guy's got a high 2nd round pick. He dropped all the way to the 3rd round. It might be worth doing. Because from what I was aware of and what I have heard last year is they had no idea Javon Holland would fall to them. And they were thinking running back the whole time with Javonte. And the moment Javonte got picked from Denver and they realized that Javon Holland was sitting there, it was Javon Holland all day because he was the best player available, not because they wanted, somebody in the secondary per se. They were happy with what they had. So if it was me, it'd be interior O-line. If I'm guessing what Chris Greer is going to do, I think it's going to be best player available.
Okay, cool. I appreciate it. Thank you, Steven. I'm going to keep listening. I'm here driving already. I appreciate everything, Steven.
No problem, Batman. I appreciate it, man. Guys, go listen to the Miami Sports Fanatics show. Batman, Gio, great bunch of guys over there. They got really good content. Shout out to them. Look, I'll say this. Mauricio has given me stuff in the past, and I would say he's 90% accurate with everything I've ever heard about him, and anything he's given to me has come to fruition. So I'll say that about Mauricio. Like, everything he's ever given to me, come to fruition. Everything that I've heard that's like from back channels through people that have gotten stuff through Mauricio, it's about 90% accurate. And so I don't put it past Mauricio. He seems to know stuff. He seems to have his head where it's like he's got his ears where they're supposed to be in the right places. If you're asking me what I think's going to happen, I think Debo goes to the Jets. I think Debo gets traded no matter what. Whether it's to the Jets, us, Green Bay, Baltimore, whoever, he gets traded. I think that there will be a trade this afternoon in the NFL. Who knows who it will be for? And the person that I really want to keep a close eye on is Laramie Tunsil. I'm very interested to know what happens with Laramie Tunsil, and will he get traded in the next 48 hours? I'm excited to see kind of what happens there and who's gonna get there. All right, I want to remind you all, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clap blockers, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I want to remind you guys, if you donate in increments of $10 to the channel, you will be entered to win a Patrick Surtain autographed jersey that we are raffling off on Friday afternoon. Okay, so donate to the channel, increments of 10. Every $10, you get an additional entry. If you donate on Cash App or PayPal that you see right here, I double your entries. And if you donate $50 or more, I will triple your entry into getting a chance to win this Patrick Surtain autograph aqua jersey. All right, so make sure y'all be on the lookout for that and check that out. Okay, look, there's a lot of stuff to talk about here. I'm interested to know what you all think. We're a day away from the draft. Do you all think that the Dolphins jump back into the first round? I think it'll cost way too much to. Now, do I like a guy like Tyler Lindbaum? 100%. But I think it would cost way too much to jump back into the first round. It would have to be like the Dolphins stealing a first-round pick to get back into it for it to happen. Just me personally, that's what I think. Now, I'm not saying it's out of the question. It's not out of the question. Chris Greer's done crazier things. We'll have to see what happens. All right, I'm dropping the link for y'all to come on, and we will do a Dolphins panel. It is Wildin' Out Wednesday. Just so y'all know, Swear Jar is in full effect, and it is chaos. Spread chaos. All right, let's be cordial with each other. But hey, this is the panel show. This Wednesday. All right, so I'm interested to know what y'all think. I'll wait till a couple of you come into the back room here, and then I'll bring 3 or 4 of y'all on, and we'll go from there. I definitely want to hear what you all have to say about the draft coming up. What do you think the Dolphins are going to do? Do you think Debo's coming? Do you not think Debo's coming? Are you interested to see what happens with, Laramie Tunsil? I think that's a very intriguing story. I think that's one that we're not thinking about, and we need to think about it. I'm interested to really know what happens there. And then anything else y'all want to talk about? Are there players that you think that will draft in the 3rd round or the 4th rounds? We'll have to see what happens there. In the chat, as I said, the link for the show, I'm also going to pin it to the top of the page. So there it is, pinned to the top. You guys come on. It'll be a lot of fun. 2 chaos in 1 week. Let's go. Nah, don't change the bet. You moving? What? Who? Huh? What? Interested to know what you guys are talking about there. Okay, yeah, I look, and I'm on Twitter watch too. There's a lot of stuff on Twitter that I'm looking at right now. Cam Robinson. I said Cam Newton. Cam Robinson Just signed a franchise tag with Jacksonville. Interested to see what happens there. I came in late. Is Tunzel linked to Miami? Tunzel's linked to getting traded. Tunzel is linked to getting traded. Okay. So I'm interested to see what happens there. Okay. Let's see here. All right, I got 3 people in the back room. Let me go ahead and bring them on. By the way, everybody is eligible to come on. I definitely want to see them. Sharif, all the way in the Bahamas, is on here. What's up, Sharif?
Hey, how you doing, Steven?
Pretty good. How you been?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited. You basically covered, everything.
I tried.
And fortunate we have a great Dolphin community to enhance that and make sure we get a plethora of stuff. I want to just give a shout out to the Panthers once again. The starting goalie is back, goaltender is back, and that seems good. And also the Marlins. I want to touch on how we beat the Braves in the series, and I think we can.
That was a big deal. It was a good momentum.
Yes. And I think we could potentially sweep the Nationals. They're not playing very well right now. And our bats particularly are coming around. And when I think about the Marlins, I think about, a few guys who could steal base, Pierre Castillo, but we can knock the ball around the yard. And I think Acevale Garcia.
Garcia, yep, he's good.
And Sanchez, our center fielder. These guys have cannons from a throwing standpoint, and then these guys knock the ball around. So and Wendell, right? I think Wendell is
Wendell was such a big pickup for the Marlins in the offseason. Such a big pickup. I'll say this, man. I as far as Marlins are concerned, I think that baseball's a marathon, right? And everybody's like, oh, it's April. But you know what? You want to see the Marlins make the playoffs? Let them get these series wins. You take 2 or 3 from Atlanta. You take 2 or 3, or you sweep DC. You then go in and you go and you play Seattle Mariners and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And you say, if you're able to win 4 or 5 straight series in a row, you're setting yourself up with a chance that come August and September, you're in that playoff hunt. To play in October, which I think we all want to see. And I'll say that. Being healthy is going to be a big part of this. But again, all I want to see from the Marlins right now, just take 2 of 3 every series. Take 2 of 3.
And the greatest problem the Marlins really have, because I keep up with every game, is Jacob Stallings. He's a great defender, but on top of that, he's probably the least guy who's contributing hitting wise. Mm-hmm. But he proved why we need him on 2 of those outs at the plate yesterday. But he's struggling a little, and I would say in terms of minor league call ups, and if he continues to struggle, I'm really looking at Nick Fortes in the AAA. He's been playing really good. But to finish up on the Marlins, I just appreciate the first starting 3. These guys are really good. Alcantara, Pablo, and I think Luzardo.
Yep.
These guys are really.
And we're not even talking about Trevor Rogers yet.
And Trevor's straightening up his act, right?
Yeah,
and then
they're getting so good.
Mm-hmm. And then
Marlins could easily have one of the best starting rotations in Major League Baseball come June or July. They really could.
Yep. All we need is to hit, this guy gives you 7, 8 innings, Alcantara, but cannot get a win if Christ is on a cross. So we just need so I think that's why once again the bats, Soler, Garcia, Sanchez, and then you already have Anderson and Jorge Miggy Rowe. Yeah. So I think we're gonna be knocking not necessarily a speed small ball team anymore, and I wonder how Mattingly is gonna be able to handle that. But on to the Dolphins, I think that Chris Grace is short up so much positions that he can get the best player available.
Yeah, he's got something up his sleeve. So this is what I'll say about Greer. And I got Franzi and Alexander in the back room. And if you guys want to get on, the link is pinned to the top of the page. I believe that Greer has something up his sleeve. He's not done making one more big move. Now, whether that's for Debo, whether that's for Tunzel, whether that's for whoever, another free agent, I don't know. But I know I know that we're not done.
I said this on your show a week ago. And I still truly believe this. When you draft, because I still believe that Chris Greer can ask a coach what he wants, but still he has a staff of 24 scouts who work year round in different cities. He's going to tell Flo, we tried to, but we still think we like this guy so much. So I just think it's Greer's pick. And when I say that, I mean, when it comes to looking at Gesicki, and when you drafted Hunter Long, and when you look at the scheme, and you also have Shaheen, and you still have Smythe. So Hunter Long, Shaheen, and Smythe, I would love to see a battle out there in preseason, these three cats. I would love to see that. Now, the wild card you're hoping for, I spoke about on this show a week ago, and I continue to say, give us a third-round pick, high third or second, for Gesicki, and he's out of here. That's the big move people don't want to see, but that's the big move I think Greer has up his sleeve. And I'll let someone get in. You continue to do a great job, brother.
Hey, stay on, man. I'm doing a big one today, man.
Oh,
I
okay.
appreciate it, man.
Okay.
Franzi, what's up, Franzi? Franzi in Germany. I got the Bahamas and Germany in the building. What's up, man?
Good afternoon. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you, man? You're all moved into the new place?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? What do you want to talk about, man? Are you moved into the new place?
Yeah. I'm now at my girlfriend's place with our beautiful pineapple plant called Tua.
Called Tua? I love it. I love it,
Of
man.
course. Yeah, and
What's up, man? What do you want to talk about? Floor is yours. What do you think the Dolphins are going to do in the draft?
Matt Ariza in round 3.
Matt Ariza in round 3? No, Franzi. We already have our punter now. We're good. No more Matt Ariza. All mock drafts with Matt Ariza to the Dolphins are invalid. We'll have to see. Do you think they go offensive lineman, or do you think they go inside linebacker?
I don't really know.
Yeah.
I think it's likely that they go for inside linebacker, but I don't know. I'm not really into third-round draft strategies.
Yeah, me neither. I said that, like Batman asked me today, I think whoever's the best available at the position, I think he'll look at it. I think it'll be, all right, we know we need offensive linemen. We know we need inside linebacker, right? Now, if it comes to, again, there's some other position player that's available at pick 102, and he dropped tremendously, they're going to say, is the value of this player good enough to overtake us choosing maybe more of what we need at the O-line or the inside linebacker position? What I know is I'm confident that no matter who the third-round draft pick is for the Dolphins, they will be on the roster come opening day. They will be they'll make the team. And I'm almost positive that they're going to do good. Sharif, man, go ahead and get out of here, man. I just saw your text, man. I appreciate you coming on, Sharif. All right, man. Let me bring in Alexander. What's up, Alexander?
Hey, what's up, Steve? What's up, Franzi? How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you? What's up?
I'm fine.
I'm good. First off, I want to give a shout out to the Panthers. I think they have a shot at contending for the cup, but I still don't think they're going to get past Tampa. Tampa's too good.
Well, look, they lost their losing streak to Tampa the other day, and it does nothing but scare me that that maybe they just have their number, and I think Panthers are far away and a better team. But
no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I think so too. But it's just Tampa with Kucherov, Stamkos, and Point, and all them cats, Sergachev and Hedman. Those guys, and they have Vasilevsky. Those guys right there are, they're hard to contend with. They could be, if they win the cup, they will be the first team since the Islanders in the early '80s to win 3 consecutive cups.
I know, and they're that good. They are that good. I'm not putting it past them. And
of course the Mets. We won 6 consecutive series to start the season.
Hey man, they're the best team in baseball, and they keep on getting hit in the head.
And they've
had 17 hit batters. This year.
Something's got to get done about that. Something's got to get done about that.
It was funny. I was watching some of the St. Louis Mets game yesterday, I guess, and Pete Alonso gets plunked again above the shoulder, and they were talking about 17 times, and I'm just like, man, like you do it 1 or 2 times, that's one thing. You do it 17 times. That you start to feel like, hey, man, what's going on? Does the rest of Major League Baseball have something against the Mets? And I can't for the life of me figure out why they have something against the Mets because, it's a new manager. I've never known the Mets to be a real dirty team.
It's Steve Cohen. It's Steve Cohen. That's a lot of the owners did not want Steve Cohen to buy the Mets, and that was the whole thing.
But I don't think players care. Players don't care about that.
No, but the thing about it is that Steve Cohen, the Mets have been acting like a small market team for a long time. And since the Wilpons sold the Mets to Steve Cohen, a lot of the owners rejected Steve Cohen to take over the Mets. Excuse me. But that's what I think is going on. But Marte got hit yesterday too after Alonso.
I know,
and it's crazy, but and of course, shout out to the Heat.
Hey, so let's get back to the Dolphins. What do you think is going to happen with the Dolphins over the next 48 hours?
Dude, this is crazy, man. Because it's with so many things that are going on. Now, I caught it late when you were talking to Batman. Gesicki was included in the package for Debo.
No,
right?
No, not that I'm not sure about whether he was or not, but what I am aware of is that Gesicki's being shopped around, and I have to admit I have heard that from back channel sources too. Mm-hmm. So, it would not surprise me if Gesicki ends up getting traded.
It wouldn't surprise me either.
I think a domino effect has to fall for that, right? And I think that domino effect would be Debo, right? And so it's interesting because I think here's what I think. I think the better package on the table, and I don't know this for a fact, but if the Jets don't have the best package on the table, they're stupid. They need to have the best package on the table for him. Any other team that puts a package on the table for Debo Samuel, it would be from a standpoint of, hey, look, this is a fair offer. It's not the best offer, but it might be. You don't have to have the best offer on the table to get this trade. You need 2 things. Yeah. You need 2 things for this Debo trade to work out. Number one, you want Debo to come to that place. Mm-hmm. We already have that. Debo wants to come to Miami, so we already have half that bag. The second thing you need to have a package that's worth a Debo Samuel. Well, what is that going to cost? Well, it's at minimum going to cost you a first-round pick plus. First-round pick plus. And you know that there are other teams out there that want wide receivers. Now, here's the problem. There are other wide receivers available. Now, they're not Debo Samuel, but if I'm a team and I'm looking at building up my team, and I'm like, well, I could go get Kadarius Toney for a second or third rounder, maybe a third rounder, and I can still keep my high draft picks and build up my squad and hope that the upside of a Kadarius Toney works out better. I think if I'm the Jets, for me, that would be the better move. But the Jets need to do something with their fan base, right? Their fan base is pissed off. They've lost for however many years. They suck to no end. They can't get any big-time free agents to come there. They can't get anybody that wants to get traded there. So the best thing for them to do, I said this the other day, and I'll say it again. Debo goes there. He's not signing a contract extension. They'll give up the world to get him and just gamble that he's going to stay there. Like they're going to do everything they can for a year to
Douglas,
baby him
the
and
GM,
coddle him. And
it'll be run out of town.
Well, I mean, look.
If he doesn't resign, he will be run out of town if he does not resign.
100%. I'm not saying that won't be the case, but the reality is they're desperate. They are desperate.
My dad is a Jet fan, and
Steven, why would the Jets want Debo when they're clearly not one player away to help them win it all? Because they're desperate. Right now, the Jets have not shown their fan base or even the people that run their team that they are any competent of making sound decisions when it comes to personnel on the field or bringing in people. So here's the thing. You want to know partially why people want to come to Miami besides the good weather and no state taxes and it being the greatest football team of all time? That's a little homerism there. Is because people want to play with Tyreek Hill.
Yes.
And so the Jets feel like, okay, we can get Debo Samuel. We can get people that want to come here and play with the Jets because they want to play with Debo Samuel. And I'm telling you, this is what the Jets are thinking. I'm not saying that it makes sense. I'm not saying that it logically makes sense. I'm not even saying that it remotely on the same planet makes sense. I'm just telling you this is what the Jets are thinking, and they are desperate to do anything. And I could totally see them saying, here's 2 first-round picks for Debo Samuel, plus, a player like Elijah Moore or something like that. They have a good wide receiver in Elijah Moore.
My dad was listening to WFAN yesterday because he lives in New York and he's a Jets fan. And, this is just a little homer come out of him because I think this is something that WFAN would say, that Debo does want to be with the Jets, does want to come to the Jets. It's just about money. Whether or not they're going to overpay him to get him to stay. And I told him, listen, nobody wants to go to the Jets, Dad. Listen, nobody wants to go there. Nobody. Not one player. Because even though Robert Saleh, I think, is a pretty good coach. Don't get me wrong, but still nobody. Zach Wilson's still unproven. They just got nobody.
There are so many question marks there. Mark K, who's a Bills fan, shout out to Mark, big supporter of the show, says, Steven, look at the way Joe Douglas is building the Jets inside out and not outside in like they've done in the past. I'm not saying that Joe Douglas is a bad GM. I'm just saying he has a lot working against him. He does. He has a lot working against him. And if you're going to see Joe Douglas be able to make the Jets into a contender, they need luck. They need some luck to fall their way. And right now, they don't have a lot of that.
You want to know another person to look out for, Steven? Mekhi Becton. Look out for Mekhi Becton because I think the Jets want to move on from him.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's very rare that you'll see
the guy can't stay in shape. He can't stay in shape.
I get that. Look, I'm not worried about who they trade away or what they trade away, but it'll be interesting to see what happens from there. Saxman J. Will, big shout out to Saxman J. Will. He was part of the family for a very long time on here. Miss you, brother. Glad you're here. He goes, Steven, what are you hearing that we could get in a trade for Gesicki? What am I hearing that we could get in a trade for Gesicki? I mean, look, was Batman saying that it sounds like a second round, maybe third round pick that you could get for Gesicki. I think Gesicki's worth a high second round pick. The question is, do I want to get rid of Gesicki? I think that's where the question is. And the thing about Gesicki is he's a playmaker. Mike Gesicki is a playmaker. And when you look at somebody like that, can I get a capable backup or somebody to play tight end here? Of course, I think Durham Smythe is a good player, but he's no Gesicki. I think Hunter Long has the potential to be a really good player, but he's no Gesicki. And Gesicki's shortfalls, he makes up for in playmaking ability. And I would personally love to see him in a Mike McDaniel offense. I think that would be fun to watch, a Mike Gesicki and a Mike McDaniel offense. But if this Debo trade goes down, I would say they have to make room, and they have to make room, and they have to get some sort of it would make sense to me. Because here's the thing, right? Let's say you trade him. Or let's say you trade for Debo. Let's just put this out there. We trade for Debo. We give up one of the two first rounders next year, right? And Durham Smythe is my player that I think you need to watch out for. That's going to have a big year for the Dolphins. But this is what I'll say: we trade him. We give up one of those first rounds. We then trade Gesicki, whether it's for a second round this year or a second rounder next year. We still get quality value in a player for that. I personally, what I would do is I would trade Gesicki for a second round pick next year, personally, because that still gives us 5 picks in the top 100. It would give us 2 second rounders, right? And it would allow us that if we needed to trade a second and third or 2 twos to get back into the first round again next year to get 2 first round picks, we could ultimately do it. So if they're worried about draft capital but want to make a splash, you trade Deebo Samuel, you trade one of those 2 first round picks plus whatever else you're going to trade to go get them, right? Then you go and you trade Mike Gesicki for a second rounder next year, and then bam, you still have a 1, 2 twos, and 2 threes next year, and you're still able to kind of do whatever if you need to go get a quarterback in next year's draft to do that.
You know what?
That's what all this is about, is making sure they have enough capital to go get the person they really want next year if they need to.
Steven, I'm still having this dream scenario that the Dolphins end up with a top 5 pick next year in that San Fran first round. Oh my goodness, that would be so sweet.
It would be. And here's the thing: the Dolphins, they trade next year a first round pick next year. It's going to be their pick. It's not going to be San Fran's pick.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be their pick. You know?
Absolutely.
Let's see here. What else we got in the chat? Steven, as a Bills fan, please trade Gesicki. He kills the Bills. He's had monster game over the past few years. Andrevius says Gesicki's about to be a Hall of Famer in a Mike McDaniel offense. I do think he's going to be crazy in a Mike McDaniel offense. I think it'll be fun to watch. But if we go out and get Deebo Samuel, I'm all for whatever we do to Gesicki. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be upset about it. Let's see here. We're getting Max Crosby and Darren Waller for Gesicki. I like Darren Waller, man.
I would take the trade.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would. Mark, Dolphins haven't had a monster game against the Bills in a while. Just saying. Yeah, we haven't done a lot of good stuff against them. Good morning, Steven, everyone. Canes 1989. All right, let me bring on MCJB in the back room. What's up, MCJB?
MC, what's good, bro?
Yo, what's up, y'all?
Morning.
What's going on, man?
Good morning. Can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, man. What's going on? What do you want to talk about?
Just I don't care.
Look, if you're gonna come on, know what you're gonna talk about.
He's
guys.
just waking up,
Come
Steven.
on.
He's just waking up.
He's
Just
just
waking
That's
up.
what that is. Hey guys, in the chat, you'll see the link over in the top. I want you all to come on. I want to answer all y'all questions.
I'm just
If you want to talk about something, here's the link to the chat below. Come on, I'll answer any questions.
Start the
that you guys
combo,
have.
MC.
I'm
Start the combo, man.
Let's see here. Actually, McDaniel likes blocking tight ends. All the more that Durham Smythe is a better fit maybe for the Dolphins than again, I say this. I think that it's the playmaking ability of him. is the playmaking ability.
Do you think that Durham Smythe can turn into a Gesicki-like tight end, and with better blocking? Honestly, do you guys think so?
No, I think it's an interesting question. I think Durham Smythe is a good tight end.
Yes,
and I think he's not as talented as Gesicki is when it comes to playmaking ability. But maybe that's not what you need from the tight end position, right? And you got to remember there's only a handful of really talented tight ends: Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, Kittle, Gesicki. Am I missing anybody?
I would say Njoku, maybe.
Yeah, and maybe,
I know. Maybe Hunter Henry, maybe. I mean,
yeah.
Or
look. The fact of the matter is, it's not like we can come up with 10 names that are like, oh my God, they're great tight end.
George Kittle.
Exactly. I already said Kittle. I said Kittle.
Oh, yeah, you did say Kittle. I'm sorry.
It's whatever. All right, let me bring in Andrevius. Andrevius, my number 2. What's up, buddy?
What's up,
Andrevius? What's up, man?
What's up?
I like your thing.
How's the new job, man?
Tunzel back.
The new job, I don't have as much time to be on these things.
But you got time to go on Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, because I can just listen. I don't have to actually be on it.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
How's it going?
Anyway,
how's the new job working out for you? How's everything working out for you, man?
Oh, it's all good. It's very similar to my last job. I just got a little more responsibility, but a little bit more money, so it's all good.
Money.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. What's up, man? What do you want to talk about? Floor is yours.
I just want to say, y'all going crazy with this Devo talk. We need to pay attention. Listen, we love conspiracy theories on this show, right? We love conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
my new conspiracy theory is Chris Greer and Laramie Tunsil had a plan all along. He said he came in the room. He said, "What was it reported that he said? Like I would trade me for that too." He whispered in Greer's ear.
He said it on social media. I think he said I would have traded me for that too.
So then he whispered, but Greer said, "I got a plan, Tunsil. I got a plan." He whispered in his ear, "Just circle back for me. Come save me. Come save me in a few years."
We'll see you in 3 or 4 years. Don't worry.
He said, "I got you. I'm gonna use what I got for you. I'm gonna build a dynasty type team, and then when all the chips fall into place, I'm coming back for you. Just cause a stink, and I'm coming back for you." We're going to get Laramie Tunsil back. We're going to have 2 great tackles. We're going to have 2 really good guards. We're going to have a mediocre center, but it doesn't matter because if 4 of the 5 are great, I'm good, baby. Listen, Tua, take your time this year. Take your time. Go drop back, have a sip of coffee, call your friends and family. Somebody will get open eventually. It's happening, baby. Tunsil's coming back. Tunsil is coming back.
I'll say this, man. I'll say this. I think I said this morning. I said Laramie Tunsil, that situation is a very fun one if you're a Dolphins fan because it'll go like it easily could get its own 30 for 30 movie. That whole Laramie Tunsil situation because you got to remember how we got him to begin with, the gas mask, right? I remember sitting there saying, "Oh my God, I want Laramie Tunsil, but there is no way the Dolphins get him." I remember saying that to my wife, and my wife told me, she's like, "Steven, Dolphins are going to draft Laramie Tunsil tonight." I said, "There's no way that's happening." And then the gas mask video came out, and then I turned to her and she goes, "I'm telling you, Laramie Tunsil's going to the Dolphins," and he kept dropping, then bam, 13th pick, bro. The Miami Dolphins select Laramie Tunsil. I went crazy. I said this is going to be one of the greatest picks for Miami, and I've turned out to be right so far. It has turned out to be one of the best drafts picks in the history of the Dolphins.
Tunsil's coming back, and then when we win a Super Bowl, we have to build a statue of the gas
for
mask.
Laramie Tunsil, of course.
We got to build a statue of the gas mask. That's what we got to build a statue of.
I like that.
The gas mask has to get and they. Vaughn954 asking me what's my source in the chat. My source is just trust me, bro. Just trust me, bro.
All right, now let me ask you a question. Would you rather have Laramie Tunsil or Deebo Samuel?
Laramie Tunsil. We have receivers galore. We don't need another one. Am I against getting Debo? No. An embarrassment of riches has never been a problem. Ask a billionaire about it. But we could probably use another tackle right now. We don't need another receiver. I want to put my trust that one of these young guys can step up, but I don't know that. I know Laramie Tunsil is good. Just like I know Tyreek Hill is good. I know Waddle's good. I know Cedric Wilson is a good third option. I know Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden can contribute. We don't need Debo. It would be a luxury at this point. A good luxury, a great luxury, but it's a luxury.
Color commentary, so his sources.
If we going to get a whale and it's between Debo and Tunsil, you better go get fucking Tunsil. I'll give you some money for the swear jar.
Swear jar. No, I agree. I here's what I say. If it came down to it and they said, Steven, here's the deal. You can get one of two players right now. You can go get Laramie Tunsil or you can go get Debo Samuel. But you can't have both. I would probably pick I just because I feel so strongly about the O-line and how important it is to a team's success, I would probably say Tunsil. There you go. There you go. Paying up the swear jar right when you did it. Man of your word. I appreciate it. We need more inside linebacker help than O-linemen. We have plenty right now. Besides, there's still very good free agent center left out there.
When I hear that,
there's no guarantee. And flip side, let me say this. Our defense, I'm not saying we would need O-line is where you win and lose games. For 95% of teams, it's where you win or lose games. And having Tunsil would be great. If you did get Tunsil, what side would you put him on?
So here's the thing. I don't care which side Armstead or Tunsil is on. I just know we protected on both sides. I don't care. Do what you play musical chairs at that point. I don't care. You're gonna be protected.
But what the question is, also, what if he says no? I don't want to play right tackle. I want to play left tackle. Well,
if he says no, I don't want to play right tackle. He doesn't want to get traded here to begin with. So he knows that he would know getting traded here. There's a chance he would have to play right tackle. So I don't think that's a realistic thing that would happen.
Here's the thing. Do you think he gets traded though? Do you think Houston trades him?
Yes. Look at the history of Houston. They'll trade anybody.
I mean, yeah, but now they have a different GM, different head coach, different personnel there. They got Deshaun out there. He's out of there now. It's not like the payment is the problem. He's getting paid. Laramie Tunsil's making money.
If he doesn't want to be there, he'll be gone. Whether it's the Dolphins or not, I hope the Dolphins would do something crazy to get Laramie Tunsil. But whether it's the Dolphins or not, if he doesn't want to be in Houston, he's out. Listen, player empowerment's happening in the NFL, and we need to prepare for it. It's happening. He's gone. And most likely, players will start being able to pick where they end up almost. You see what's happening with see what happened with Tyreek Hill. He had the choice.
Tyreek could have went where and that's the whole thing about the Debo Samuel situation, right? So Debo, by the way, Tyreek didn't have a no trade clause either.
Nope.
Neither
you
does
don't need
Debo.
a no trade clause.
But you can raise up enough fuss. And so I said this about Debo, and I'll repeat myself a little bit again. The Jets have the best offer on the table, and if they don't, they're stupid.
The Jets had the best offer for Tyreek Hill.
And that doesn't mean they're going to get
it. But they didn't make the best offer. They offered 2 second-round picks.
I heard they offered a first and a second.
Here. What I'm saying is, if the Jets don't have the best offer on the table, they're stupid.
I can see that. It's the Jets.
And they should. They should have the best offer on the table. And
I don't listen. I know y'all gonna think I'm a hater right now. I think what they're valuing Debo at is freaking insane. I don't think he is that. Listen, they offering
he's
like
the number. He
offers.
Debo was number 2 in yak in the NFL last year, which means a lot. And I'll say this: I would love to have. I know you said a little bit ago, Steven, why have we already said at the wide receiver position? There's some truth in that statement, Andrevius. But the reality is, Debo's number 2 in yak, and so if we have a quarterback who's making 2-yard slant passes, I want somebody who was top 5 in yak in the NFL last year, and he's that. He extends drives.
I would love Debo too. I would give up the farm for Debo too if we didn't already give up the farm for Tyreek Hill.
This is an entry for the for level 2 noob Patrick Surtain jersey. Oh, look at that. People spreading kindness on Wildin' Out Wednesday. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4 F's. Go ahead, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead, Andrevius. What were you saying?
I was just saying, I would probably be willing to offer whatever we offered for Tyreek Hill if we didn't land Tyreek Hill. But the fact of the matter is we landed Tyreek Hill. Having a 1, 2, 3 punch at receiver would be amazing, but it's a luxury that we don't need. If there's choices to make the team better and fill other holes, like that tackle we're not sure about, go do that. Go do that.
Let me ask you something. What would you be okay with giving up for Debo for? Would you be okay giving up one of the first-round draft picks next year, or do you think it's smart to keep the first-round draft picks next year?
I don't care about picks. Let them go. My issue was, and listen, I don't know how true anything anyone is saying because listen, ain't nothing happened yet. But my problem would be if they offer him picks and Christian Wilkins and Byron Jones. Absolutely not. Hell no. Get the hell out of my face. No, not doing it. Not doing it. Will not do it. You're not gonna get picks and Byron Jones and Christian Wilkins. No. Get out of here. Get out. I would laugh.
I'm asking you, what are you okay with giving up then, though?
Give up the picks. Give up picks. I don't care about them picks.
Now, you don't think it's smart to keep them just in case we need to go get a quarterback next year?
No.
See, and that's the only thing that makes me hesitate on trading next year's capital.
So I'm going to just say it like this. If they're willing to get rid of those picks to get a Debo or get like another tackle that's elite, that clearly tells you that they're not worried about another quarterback.
I think they've already.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think they've already proven that with some of the picks that they made. I think though the fact that they're stockpiling for next year tells me as well though that they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that if Tua isn't the guy, for whatever reason, they're going to get him next year.
Or they got those picks just in case somebody can fall into their lap with a trade. They know they can offer something.
If you trade Gesicki, would you rather have a second rounder this year or a second rounder next year?
I mean, a current pick is always more valuable because you know what the pick is. So I would say this year. We don't know where teams are going to pick next year. We don't know. We don't know that. They got to play out this season so we figure out where they're going to pick.
That's fair.
The current picks are always more valuable than future picks, unless you know a team's tanking or something. That's the only way a future pick is more valuable.
Stockpile for a deeper draft next year. Round out what we will find to be the holes this new scheme and attack those. I agree with that, Adam. I would rather have a second round pick next year, and so then you have, because right now, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 2 1s, 1 2, and 2 3s, right, next year. So if I could trade Gesicki for a second rounder next year and then have 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 3s next year, bro, sign me up. Wherever the draft is, I'm going next year. That's all I know.
Who's beeping? Who's beeping?
That's all I know.
I just feel like some crazy moves are going to go down in the next day or so, right before the draft, because the draft's around the corner. People are going to be making moves. Hopefully, Chris will do some wheeling and dealing. I don't necessarily need it to be Debo, but I want some crazy moves to be made. I want Greer on demon mode over the next 24 hours.
I think what you will see personally is you will see them go to a scheme that ultimately, let me rephrase this. Yesterday I said the Dolphins need to increase their points per game by a touchdown. And as long as go ahead, Franzi. What did you want to say?
I wanted to say to my girlfriend, wait a bit, I'm gonna mute
I think that if the Dolphins improve by a touchdown, it'll be great. And I want to see the Dolphins make the right move. And I'm also okay with being safe. And I think being safe means, hey, look, what you're going to do is we can go out and, like, if they went out and traded for Deebo Samuel, I think you're showing aggressiveness, which I'm fine with. And then you turn around and trade Gesicki for a second-round pick next year, and then you have 1-1, 2 2s, 2 3s. I mean, they covered themselves. And I personally think you make the numbers work. What did you really give up for Deebo then? And then, to your question, Andrevius, if maybe you don't want to give Byron Jones and Christian Wilkins, but maybe you got to give up one of those two guys. Which one would you give up?
That's so tough. Personally, I don't like Byron Jones. Just don't like, but I know he's valuable, and I know he helps our team. And Christian Wilkins is coming off his best season. He played
I think he only gets
top
better.
10 defensive tackle this year.
I personally would go Byron Jones.
Here's the thing, when it comes to Christian Wilkins, you're trading him. Okay? In my opinion, Christian Wilkins is the heart and soul of that defense. In my opinion. I think he's the glue that holds everything together. Because
not from a production standpoint, but I feel like he's the energy of the defense.
When he was out, I think it was either he missed some games. It was the last year or the year before. The defense took a step back when he wasn't in the lineup.
I feel like Christian Wilkins.
I think it was actually 2020, the COVID year. I think he missed. A game or two because of COVID. I think it was, and the defense, the front line took a step back than what it was when he was in there. So you gotta think to yourself, if you're gonna trade Christian Wilkins, he's the heart and soul of that D. Are you gonna find someone to replace him like that real quick?
I'm not trading Christian Wilkins. That's
he's
just
too valuable to this team.
I don't think Christian Wilkins is a guy that you give up, but if you do, I mean, you got to get value for him. And
I feel like there's something to be said. Christian Wilkins was literally Chris Greer's first draft pick as GM. I feel like he holds that man near and dear to his heart. That's his little baby right there. Like his little baby he drafted for the first time. He jumping all over Roger Goodell. You don't give that guy up.
That's his firstborn. That's his firstborn.
You don't think Tunsil was?
Tunsil, I think he had a say in it, but I don't think
it was more of Mike.
He wasn't the official GM when we drafted Tunsil.
Yeah. He was labeled as a GM, but
let me bring in EM Baller. What's up, EM Baller?
What's up, EM?
It's good, everybody.
What's going on, man? Sorry for keeping you in the back room, bro. How are you doing?
No, it's all good. I'm working, but it's going good, and I kind of disagree with Andrevius. Tunsil's a left tackle. Armstead's a left tackle. This isn't Madden where you can switch a left tackle, put him at right tackle, and he could be just as good, if not better. Like you got to find an actual right tackle, and that's why I like that Liam Eichenberg is competing at right tackle, because Liam Eichenberg said that he prefers right tackle. He feels more comfortable at left tackle. You can't put a guy at a position he doesn't feel comfortable at.
Liam Eichenberg sucks, though. Let's just be honest. Call it spades.
No, I disagree
with new coaching. We don't know. With the worst O-line coaching in the entire NFL, yes, he looked bad. He looked okay to start the season, and then his technique looked horrible. And I'm like, wait, what happened to Liam Eichenberg? His technique declined. It's the coaching.
It's no technique plus limited athleticism. He's just not going to be good.
He's not a bad athlete. He's not an Austin Jackson athlete, but he's a decent athlete.
And
I would put my
Andre-
faith in Austin Jackson over Liam Eichenberg. Y'all are.
That's why they're going to compete. If Austin Jackson really is that dude in this type of system, then he should win out.
Listen, either way.
Wait, time out, Andrevius. According to you, you've already given up on Eichenberg.
Yes, I've watched him play. Listen.
Oh my God! After 1 year?
Did you
After
see
1 year and with our O-line coach.
Did you see him play in that 1 year? Listen, I don't know. Listen, Robert Hunt doesn't seem to have a problem with this terrible O-line coaching.
Well, he's the exception. He was the only guy who looked good. And he looked good. I actually thought that Robert Hunt could have been in the Pro Bowl conversation.
He wasn't great.
No, he didn't look bad, but he just had to get some reps at center. But what I'm saying is that I thought Robert Hunt could be in the conversation as a Pro Bowl player, but he wasn't even close to that because of this bad O-line coaching.
Okay.
Like Robert Hunt improved maybe a little bit under this O-line coaching, but that's it. Okay. Like Robert Hunt should have been way better than what he really was.
I will give you that the O-line coaching was bad, but terrible is just terrible. I'm sorry. Terrible is just terrible.
James, here's the thing. Eichenberg did not give up an entire sack in college.
Eichenberg had a mobile quarterback, and he played for Notre Dame, who picks cupcake.
Hold on. I get that, but still, he still created holes for the running game. He was a pretty good run blocker in college too. But here's the thing. You can't sit here and tell me that after 1 year of watching how bad this whole O-line was, that you're just going to give up on him. That's like saying you're going to give up for Austin Jackson after 1 year.
I'm telling you, I feel like I see more reason why Austin Jackson would be successful than Liam Eichenberg.
I agree with you. Because I've been on record saying that I'm an Austin Jackson fan. I think he is better than what he has shown. But I don't think Eichenberg is as bad as what everybody thinks he is. I think he's a much better offensive lineman than what people have said he is. But I think he's more of a guard, if anything. But only time will tell. But you can't label him a bust after 1 year. You can't label him. You can't give up on him after 1 year. You just can't.
And then on top of me just thinking he's just not that good, he's not athletic, which is what the McDaniel scheme needs. You need athletic.
He's athletic. Did you see his testing and did you watch his film at Notre Dame? He's a good athlete. He's just not an Austin Jackson athlete.
I saw him pancake a speed rusher on the side, in the Buffalo game. I saw him pancake Rousseau.
Flip side fishing with the $20 donation. He'll get 2 slots into the giveaway that we will do on Friday for the Patrick Surtain autographed jersey. So shout out to Flipside.
I gotta send that in on Friday when I get paid.
The fact that all the linemen regressed, even Hunt from the season before, is evidence of bad coaching. I could see 1 or 2 players, but not all of them. We have talent already to fill the tackle position.
So with Flipside fishing there, I agree. I think one of these guys could work. Specifically, I think it will be Austin Jackson. But right now,
put him Robert Jones in there.
Right now, we're playing fantasy football. Let us play fantasy football, okay? Can we do that? Let's just have a good time. Come on, let us have a good time. We're over here making up scenarios about Debo, but I can't make up a scenario about goddamn Laramie Tunsil. Come on, guys.
No, you can't. You can make up the scenario, but I disagree with you. Like I disagree with the Debo.
I just think it's more reality to get Debo than move Tunsil or Armstead to right tackle. I think didn't Armstead say that he did not want to play right tackle?
Yeah,
and McDaniel even said he's our left tackle. Everyone else is going to compete.
But let me tell you, if Laramie were to come back to Miami for whatever reason, Laramie would do it, and he would play whatever position he's told to play. Guaranteed.
Listen, McDaniel can say that all you want. I can guarantee you Robert Hunt is not competing for the right guard position. The only thing Robert Hunt would have to compete for is if he wants to move out to right tackle. He is not competing.
That's the thing. He's not going to compete at the right guard position, yet he still said it's a competition. So keeping us honest. But he still had the audacity to say that Armstead is the left tackle, so that just tells you that there's no competition at that left tackle spot.
Well, we know there's no competition at left tackle, but I'm reporting it first. There's no competition.
There were scouts that were saying that Robert Hunt is an all-pro guard and not all-pro tackle.
That's why I was disappointed in his play at guard, because I thought he'd be better.
And I think Robert Hunt is actually, out of all the picks that Grant Spear has gotten, I think he's been the best of the bunch.
Since we're talking about fantasy and crazy scenarios, let me bring in somebody who's pretty good at that. Pete, what's up, Pete?
Oh, Pete.
What are you talking about? Pete's always right.
Pete's always right. What's up, Pete?
Pete's always right.
Oh, fellas, how's everybody's day today?
Pete is in the building. Pete equals. Hey, Pete, before you get started, tell the people to donate, hit that like button, and share. Tell them,
man.
They
know what to do, especially if they want that Patrick Surtain jersey. Man, that right there.
It's nice, right?
Look at
it's
it.
Nice.
It's nice. More than nice. Look at that 2-3. Y'all remember when Surtain was on the field locking guys down?
Just saying.
Being a 37-year-old person, I definitely remember that.
You need that on our backs. Who's gonna win it? Who wants to donate? Who wants to get it? You can't win it if you don't participate. Don't forget that.
All right, Pete. What is your gas station attendant telling you about this week in the
Steven, I'm a little late to the show today because actually today it's tennis court source. So I got off the tennis. Yeah, I went to go play tennis.
You went to go play tennis.
I met up with some guys, and I know it's a joke, but it's really not a joke. I'm telling you guys, Miami Dolphins are aggressively trying to find a way to get into that late first round tomorrow night. So don't be surprised. And I'm trying to tell you guys, it's not going to be a dead draft. Something is telling me we are going to trade up to late first round draft pick. The Miami Dolphins need a position, Steven. I'm going to be the one to tell you quarterback. Andrevius is going to be the one to tell you right tackle. Steven will tell you center. And Alex will tell you middle linebacker.
I would tell you linebacker. I would tell you middle linebacker.
Everybody knows we need that one extra guy. And Ian Baller, don't mute yourself. You were about to say punter. I heard it.
I wasn't going to say punter. We already got our punter. I love Ariza, but we got our punter now. Morstead.
Franzi said in the third round we're getting Ariza.
But it was clearly
I was just about to tell you, Pete, that if Greer really wanted to move back up in the late first, why did he trade our late first this draft instead of one of the 2 first next draft?
That I can speculate on that. For me personally, I think he's not allowed to touch any of the draft picks next year. He has to work out with what he has.
He doesn't want to because he sees what kind of draft next year will be.
No, you got to remember.
He's a visionary.
No, we don't even have our own picks. It's a gamble. We don't know where we're going to pick at. Regardless of if we win or lose, we don't know what our first round is.
Regardless of it is. It's a deeper first round.
Larry Tunsil sent his gas mask video.
I know it's an NFT. He's doing it as an NFT.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I was awesome. I would buy that thing.
He's gonna
I would sell it once we win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's a one of one. It's a one of one.
All the proceeds will go to the research.
I would own it by myself, and then I would sell it to someone else when we win a Super Bowl.
That's like Tom Brady's final touchdown, right?
Yeah, but I'm poor, so I can't do it.
No, you just got a raise. You just got a new job and new money. Nah, don't tell me that, son.
Listen, I ain't got that type of money.
Oh man. Boy. Hey Pete, who do you think we're drafting on Friday, man?
I truly believe we're gonna trade up to get a quarterback. I truly believe it. I truly it's head shaking. I see you, Steven, but I'm bought into it. There's nothing I can really much say. I mean, think about this, Steven. Look, let me tell you guys something. Stephen Ross went out and tried to get a quarterback. That was before we had McDaniel. That was before. And then he goes out of his way and says the new head coach will have the power to select the new quarterback or whatever he wants to do at the quarterback position. That's fine if he wants to put the blame on the new head coach that has no experience and really doesn't know what he's going to be doing. You have to. There's no going back, bro. You cheated on Tua. That's the thing. You cheated on Tua.
And what do you think this way? What do you think that would do if they were to move into the first round for a quarterback in this? I mean,
I truly think. Look, I truly think if we trade up, Steven, Tua's going to be part of that trade package. We're probably going to get a second for him. Use the capital we have now, maybe one for next year to get into that mid-round, first round, and select a quarterback that can. Because you got to think about it, Steven. What are they comparing Malik Willis to? Josh Allen. That's his comparison, bro. Think about that.
Did you watch his tape?
The only thing about Malik Willis that I don't like, based on the tape that I watch, is he is a little slow with his footwork. His footwork is a little slow. But he's fast. He's a fast runner. And what I mean that his footwork is slow is when he's hikes the ball to try to get into the throwing position, it's just a little slow. But other than that, he could pick it up and get it. You know,
so
we have offensive line issues.
The only quarterback I would want them to do that for is Kenny Pickett. And if that and personally, I believe that 3 or 4 quarterbacks in next year's draft are better than Pickett. So listen, I don't see them doing that in any scenario.
I'm told that they're looking in Baker Mayfield. They're looking in different avenues.
There's no way I love you, and that's fine. That if you believe that,
it doesn't matter
I'm not a betting man. But you know what? I'm gonna do it for this one. There is no way in the world that Baker Mayfield would be traded for to the Miami Dolphins over Tua. None. And I don't bet, and I haven't bet in 4.5 years. But buddy, you're gonna make me do the first one. You're gonna make me do the first one. I've done in 4.5 years.
That they did their homework. They're doing their due diligence. They tried. I don't know if they're still, but they're doing what they have to do. They had to make the phone call. They're trying to find out, what's up with Baker.
Hey, Steven.
And the fact that they did that lets me know that they're still trying to push in all avenues to get a quarterback. And I wouldn't be shocked if there's even a guy in the third round like Desmond Ritter.
Steven, there was a this guy's name Vincent Frank on Twitter reported at 8:30 this morning that there was an offer to the Jets for the 10th pick in the draft, the 35th pick in the draft, the 99th pick in the draft, the 2023 second, and Elijah Moore. And apparently the 49ers are still waiting because they're hesitating to put Elijah Moore in that trade.
Wait. You believe that?
No. Two things. Number one, I'll say this, Alexander. If that's true, and that's a big if, but if that's true, the only hesitation is that Debo is throwing a fit. That's it.
No, bro.
That is a perfect trade for Debo.
Listen,
what?
Think about this.
Do that?
That's a perfect trade for the 49ers, not for Debo.
That's for the 49ers, exactly.
Yeah,
no,
Debo,
man, I'm not buying that story. Listen, what did the Jets offer for Tyreek Hill? They didn't even offer half of what that guy just finished saying right now.
And by the way, they got killed for it. So what do you think they're going to do this time? They're going to overpay for him.
They're going to overpay for him.
How are they going to overpay for Debo when they can find just as good as talent in a heavy wide receiver draft?
Because they're the Jets, Pete. They're the Jets.
And the Jets don't know how to use him like Mike McDaniel knows how to use Debo.
Franzi, get back up here for a second.
I'm telling you, Pete, the Jets are trying to give up the farm for Debo.
Franzi, is it your birthday?
Yeah.
Guys, it's Franzi's birthday.
Happy birthday,
we all need to sing happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
And reality hits when he realizes this is a Dolphin channel.
Hey, Franzi, let me ask, how old are you turning today?
25.
All right, so everybody needs to donate $25 to the channel. Tell them, Franzi. That's what you want.
You lost your dang mind, Steven.
Go ahead, Franzi.
We gotta donate 25. But who's getting the donation? Is it the birthday boy getting the donation?
Well, that's up to Franzi. If Franzi wants some of that $25, it would be for Franzi.
I could read it, but guys, hit that like button. Donate 25 euros because it's my 25th birthday today. And share the link on Twitter, Facebook, wherever. You know what to do.
Hey, man, go enjoy your birthday, brother. Love you, man. Be good.
I'm over here Googling 25 euros to dollars.
I was literally doing the same thing, bro. Sorry. I didn't get a chance to.
That is $26.36, fellas.
All right, $26.36 to the chat. Or donate to the channel. Let's go.
The Miami Dolphins, breaking news, gas station source update. I just got a text. This is not even a joke. Number 1 overall pick is going to be the Dolphins. How do you guys feel about that?
No way. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen, and it's terrible.
The Jets have the 99th pick
at
in the
first
draft.
overall
The Browns do. Stop reading random weirdos on the internet. Level 2 noob says. Franzi, go enjoy your day, man. Let me bring on a couple
This is
of other
69th
people
pick.
here, man. Hey, Bonjo and Estefan, what's up, guys?
What's up?
We got help on the panel.
Franzi, happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Franzi.
Enjoy your day, man.
Thank you. Have a nice stream.
Steven.
What's up?
Steven.
What's up, Bonjo? What's up, buddy? You look frustrated. You look frustrated.
I slightly am.
You're slightly.
Yeah. I'm slightly. It's more frustration, annoying.
I know why, Bonjo.
You know when you're annoyed and frustrated at the same time.
I've never been frustrated and annoyed at the same time.
Can I tell them, Bonjo?
I mean, listen. If you listen to Batman stream last night, everybody knows why I'm frustrated.
That's what I'm trying to tell them. This man Bonjo is so mad. We're gonna be bored during tomorrow's evening's draft. You know,
I'm not.
There's nothing to look at. You know, we look. Our leader said during the draft we need to watch Tyreek Hill highlights. So look, whoever's gonna be doing the draft live this year, just start posting up Tyreek Hill highlights. Do what Chris Greer said. Let's watch nothing but Tyreek Hill from his high school days, college days, Kansas City. That's what we need to do for the next couple days. We have no draft picks, and we can blame Tyreek Hill.
Can I get on my soapbox for a second without anybody interrupting?
Hey, you know what you should do? You should get on your soapbox for a second. Go ahead.
Right.
No, everybody put yourselves on mute. Let Bonjo get on his soapbox.
You and I, Steven. Ready?
Right, I'm ready.
So, everybody keeps saying Debo this, Debo that. Right? And we keep saying that, oh, we need Debo, or everybody likes to get Debo. But last time I checked, nobody heard about Debo. McDaniels got there. Apparently, people said the big hype about McDaniel is that he created Debo, or he helped bring out Debo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said last night, this whole thing reminded me of a great rapper called Jay-Z, Young Hov.
Jigga.
Exactly.
The Rock.
Exactly. So this is, he said in a great song, people keep saying, and I'm going to use the, G-rated version because this is a family show. People keep saying they made Hov. Made Hov say, okay, then make another Hov. So if we're so hyped about McDaniel and what McDaniel brings to the table, oh, he created Debo. So why can't he just make another Debo? Why are we trading all these assets to get one person when you have the maker of the person? That's like saying if my Shelby, if Shelby is my friend, right? And he made my GT 500 Shelby Mustang and it gets wrecked. Oh gosh, what I'm gonna do? No, Shelby, just make me another one, my guy. So again, what's the big hype over getting Debo when we have the Debo maker? People don't get mad at people. Don't. If you lose a knife, you don't get mad. You don't get upset, especially if you have the knife maker.
That's true.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but Yeah, but what
Grant
you're saying,
Overhouse,
Von Joe, I'm
Yes.
sorry to tell you,
So,
you're putting
so
all the faith.
I
So
agree
basically, what
and
you're saying,
disagree.
Von Joe, you're putting all the faith in Mike McDaniel. You believe in that guy. You think
Yes,
he could
I do.
create something out
No.
of nothing
So,
offensively.
Vonjo, I agree and disagree. I don't know if Mike McDaniel made Debo. I don't even want to trade for Debo. I'm gonna just tell you that straight up. I don't want to trade a bunch of crazy shit for Debo. We got enough. We're fine at receiver. We're fine at receiver.
There it is.
But
There's a
at
graphic.
the same time, if Mike McDaniel was integral in making Debo as successful as he is, it's not as simple as just getting some other guy and making him. You still got to have the talent. You still got to have the talent to bring out of someone. Is anybody else on this roster that's not already established as talented as Debo? I don't know that. Some people say Lynn Bowden is. I have no evidence of that. I have no evidence.
You can only go off his college tape, which he was a Swiss Army knife, and he's just as big as Debo, by the way. Just a FYI. Last time I checked, Debo ran a 4.5. I think Lynn Bowden is faster than that. I think he's like a 4.4, 4.3.
Yeah, I think Lynn Bowden is 4.3.
So again, are we
sorry
just
to tell you,
are we just so,
hopefuls? Isaiah Ford came in and made Lynn Bowden unproductive.
No, I can't even say
Remember
that. I can't even say that.
Isaiah Ford
took
him out of the
trash.
slot.
And
Exactly my point.
Pete, be quiet. Relax, my guy. Lynn Bowden got hurt, and all of a sudden, for some reason, Flo decided to just put him on the shelf for a whole entire year, which is ridiculous.
Ridiculous, sir. Just absolutely ridiculous.
I don't know why you
know
put
how
that man on the
ridiculous
shelf.
it is?
This is like the Mac Hollins guys.
Hey, you want to know how ridiculous it is? It's almost as ridiculous, almost, not quite, as Color Commentary's hair. Oh, wait, Color, do you even have hair? Do you even have hair, Color?
Shout out to Color. I'm glad that soldier's up
these
here.
days, not much as I used to.
Color, I missed you, buddy. How are you, man?
Pretty good. I had this sneaking feeling that you were gonna do exactly what you just did with that segue, man. I just knew.
Because I'm good. I'm good at what I do, right? Just
yeah,
say it.
Exactly.
It's kind of a big deal. I'm not pumping up my head at all. You can do it for me, Color. You want to know who else has no hair? Cameron 954. He has no hair.
I can say somebody else, but the guy is never. The guy I was going to say has never taken his hat off on stream, so I don't know if he wants anybody to know.
Oh man, I don't care. Color, you can jump in the pool with me at 5:30 in the morning, and you can see I got no hair.
No, I was thinking more of somebody over at the Sports Fanatics,
the tailgate,
will remain nameless, who's in fact hairless, but. I'll let him tell everybody that.
This is great. I got Andrevius on. I got Bon Joe. I got Cameron, Color Commentary, Pete, Ian Baller, Alexander, Estefan. This is like the all-star of panels right now. I feel this is awesome.
Pete had to try to snake my Desmond Ritter calls, so that's why I came up in the first place, man. You know I've been calling Desmond Ritter for months, Pete.
You can
I got
have
receipts,
him.
man.
I'm glad. You know what I said? Desmond Ritter could possibly be the next Dak Prescott. Draft him in the third round. We have the team already built for him.
In the third
he just
round.
needs to come in and distribute the ball.
Nope.
With what accuracy? Desmond Ritter struggles with accuracy.
Nope. Listen,
y'all, the Dolphins are doing their quarterback homework on all these guys, and y'all not there.
We're not getting a quarterback.
Listen, if Tua can't drive this Ferrari, I'm not going to give it to a rookie. I'm not going to give it to a
rookie.
rookie.
The more ridiculous thing is how everybody keeps forgetting that Debo did not choose to be a utility back. McDaniel didn't wake up one day and go, you know what? I'm so brilliant. This is what I'm going to do. They burned through the ankles and the ACLs of their entire running back room. And they had to use him that way.
Elijah Mitchell came out just fine.
Oh my gosh, not burned through the ankles of the ACLs.
They literally did. Every single running back in their room was hurt.
That's true.
But Color,
as soon as the Rams isolated Debo, and this is Crypto's point, as soon as the Rams isolated Debo Samuel, the game was over.
Hey, don't talk about Crypto when he's not on. Oh, Crypto's here. What's up, Crypto?
Look at that. Look at that. He must have had an earworm.
Bitcoin is going down.
Guys, I want to say something to Color real quick. Color, I just want to go ahead and apologize. You know, the last 2 nights.
What's going on? AP, stop the nonsense.
Bitcoin is gonna go where I want to buy it.
For the Mets taking it to my cards, is that what you're apologizing for?
Yes.
Well, they're playing in about an hour and 15 minutes, so we'll see. We'll see if they get the sweep.
Cameron, tell those pitchers to stop throwing at Mets heads.
Dude, I can't believe Alonso didn't take that guy's head off. Like, listen, as much as I hate the Mets, at this point, they have every right to beat some people up.
Yo, this shows how wild baseball is. It's like,
what happened?
It's Wednesday.
Did the Cardinals hit one of the Mets or something?
They hit him twice yesterday.
They hit him in the first. And
Alonso got hit in the head.
Did he get ejected?
No, nobody got ejected. And the Mets have been hit 17 times.
Oh, come on, guys.
Let me tell you what's going on with that.
Believe
That's
those
bringing drama to baseball, and I love it.
Y'all don't really believe that those milquetoast Cardinals purposely hit somebody.
Yeah,
I will tell you this.
I don't know. That's for TV ratings. I promise you. It's
Listen, baseball need ratings. You know baseball need help.
They sure do, and that's awesome.
No,
hit them in the head next time.
Pete, hold on. First off, you're gonna want TV ratings for one team to get hit 17 times in a week span.
Somebody has to be a sacrificial lamb. Somebody has to be a sacrificial lamb.
Alex, that's only two things.
Got put up for tribute. Okay,
that's two things. MLB is dealing with bad pitching; they need better pitchers, and that's TV ratings.
Yeah, and don't leave yet, Gene. Don't leave yet, Gene. We're talking about throwing baseballs at people. We're not talking about a baseball itself.
Hey, Pete, I'll tell you this. You made 2 points here. It's not about the bad pitching, it's about the bad baseballs. And actually, there was a Mets player last night that came to the defense of the Cardinals pitcher, and he was talking about how Tyler McGill talked about how bad the baseballs are. They're in humidifiers. Yes. They're at a lower quality. They're coming from 3 different sources, and they're all mixed up together. And everybody in the league knows it and talks about it. They can't get a grip. Their moisture on the ball is extra.
Cam, I gotta fix that.
You tell me the balls are juiced?
No,
juicing balls
again. Cam,
the way you fix balls once again.
No, the way you fix the balls is that you shorten the season. Shorten the season. And you won't need as much balls.
Then why are the Mets pitchers not having problems?
Pause.
The Mets pitchers are having problems
The Mets
too.
pitchers don't know how to throw a curveball. That's why.
Oh, come on! Really, curveball? That's Scherner's best pitch, curveball.
Hey, somebody stop eating.
The Mets got all their pitchers from Colorado.
No, I'm not eating. It's not eating. My daughter brought me something to open up for her. Say hi.
Hey. Hi. Say go Dolphins.
Say go Dolphins.
Don't force her to be miserable with a Dolphin.
It's a rite of passage.
And this is the boy.
Rite of passage.
What's up,
Greer-led team
Say
right
what's
now.
up.
Say go Dolphins.
Say fins up.
Fins up.
All right.
Fins up. I love it.
Hey, God bless your family.
So yeah, those are my twins.
God bless your family, bro.
Thank
you. God bless your family, man.
The 9-year-old is actually in school right now.
That's beautiful, man. You got a beautiful family, bro.
Thank you.
Family,
right,
well,
I like to
think me and my wife do good work.
Real quick, let's get back to the football talk.
Yeah,
we talk baseball all day.
Nobody talks baseball all day, Steven. Stop it.
We could.
No, you can't.
Cameron and I could. Cameron and I
could talk baseball all day.
You got baseball being played.
Cameron, let me ask.
As long as it starts with the Mets sucking, Alex, then we can talk baseball all
good,
day.
Exactly. Cameron, let me ask you a question. What? I want to ask you 2 questions. Number 1, does the Deebo Samuel to Miami thing happen? And number 2, at pick 102, where do you see the Dolphins going? 2 separate questions.
Do the right thing, Cam.
Where do I see the Dolphins going with their draft pick?
Yeah, and quarterback. And do you think, and Cam, do you think there's a possibility they trade up for a quarterback?
Pete, nobody asked you.
Hey, you know Pete's pulling for straws when he's slamming Tua with Desmond Ritter talk. My lord,
Desmond Ritter.
Hey, that's my quarterback, man.
That's
my
quarterback.
That's just insane. But you asked me a question, Steven, and I'm throwing a name at you.
Run a 4-2 color.
4-5.
Let Cameron go. Let Cameron talk.
I'm going to throw a name at you real quick. I'm going to throw a name at you real quick, and I'll give you a reason why first. the Bills are in front of the Dolphins, right? You got to beat the Bills to win this division. How do you beat the Bills? And it's showing in the past. You put pressure on Allen, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a player that's got all the tools that he's raw, and he'll be available at 102 where the Dolphins currently pick, and that's Dominique Robinson. He's an edge from Miami, Ohio. Check him out.
That'd be a good play.
It'd be a great pick.
We got to create a monstrous
Miami,
front
Ohio?
four.
Miami, Ohio. The guy blew up the combine. He had great.
How did he do in the Senior Bowl?
1 year stats. He had a good Senior Bowl, and he was a former quarterback, former wide receiver that just matured into this 6'3", 255-pound body, and they put him on defense, and he created havoc. You go to YouTube and watch his get off. It's amazing. It reminds me of Cam Wake.
Pause.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Check him out. That's my ghost pick right there.
What's this? Hold on. What's this guy's name again? Hold on. What's his name?
Dominique Robinson,
Out of
edge, Miami of Ohio.
Okay, all right. All right, and now what about Debo? Do you think Debo Samuel? A, do you think Debo Samuel comes to the Dolphins? And B, I mean, does he get traded? I guess it should be. Does he get traded? And does he come to the Dolphins?
I think as each day passes and we get closer to the draft, the opportunity for Debo to come to Miami is greater. And I think that he's already gotten offers. He's already probably turned down offers from other teams. Something's fishy, and I don't underestimate what Greer has up his sleeve, because the guy's made trades every draft that he's been governing the draft for the Dolphins.
So, do you think that Debo Samuel becomes a Miami Dolphin? Is the question.
Last week you asked me this question. I pretty profoundly said no, and I'll put it at 50-50 today.
Okay.
Tunsil's back, baby.
What about Laramie Tunsil? That whole situation is interesting too, right, Cameron?
It is, but the guy's like 9 years in now, and he really didn't play that well last 2 years in Houston. If they can get him for like a third or a fifth or something like that, maybe, but who knows?
Color, what do you think about the Debo Samuel situation and Laramie Tunsil situation, Color?
I've been indifferent the whole time. I think Laramie Tunsil is probably a better move overall. I agree with what Cameron said, but I'm just a little. I'm wondering how much of that is, how much he was affected by his atmosphere of, Same with Deshaun Watson. I mean, you go there and you expect all these great things, and then Bill O'Brien completely trashes the team and dips out. You know what I mean? How much of that was just because of circumstances as far as
organizational thing,
how he's been playing? You know what I mean? But I don't know. I've been from the beginning. I've been indifferent to Debo. I don't think we need it. I think it's like Andrevius said. It's a wealth of riches. It's really not necessary. I wouldn't be upset if it did happen. I mean, why would I be upset over depth at playmaker?
So,
you know what I mean? Who's ever had depth at playmaker, the playmaker position?
But Color, to Andrevius's point and your point, which I get it. An establishment of riches is great, but what are you willing to give up for Debo? And is the future?
Oh, that's what I'm trying to say. If somebody said, "Oh, we didn't do it because we didn't want to give up this, that, and the other," I would agree with that just as well. I'm totally indifferent to Debo Samuel. I'm of the belief that everybody's hype over the guy. I think obviously he's a gifted athlete, and it doesn't matter whether they utilize him the same or not. Whoever utilizes him, however they utilize him, he's still going to rack up his 20 fantasy points a week. So he's definitely a star.
So off that,
I'm just not of this thought like everybody is that everybody's idea of the word Debo has to do with the way they utilized him in San Francisco. And I just don't think that's the norm. I don't think that was ever intended. I don't think Debo Samuel wants to burn his body out in 3 years as a running back. And McDaniel probably, wink, wink, nod, nod at him for the last season and said, "Hey, look, if I'm ever in a situation where I'm in control, I ain't going to do that to you."
And on top of
off that.
Go ahead.
Off that, right?
That's why he wants to be here.
So, Corey, what you saying? Necessity was the mother of invention when it came to Debo, huh? That's what you're saying.
Which is why it got destroyed against the Rams when the Rams figured it out.
Right,
hold on.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So we're just using Debo as a receiver. Now, just use him purely as a receiver. Is he really worth all those assets?
So Von Joe, I've had arguments with people. I said it's really funny that him having this hybrid role is what got his value all the way up here. But we're willing to pay that value, and he doesn't even want to play that role anymore.
It is sort of a paradox.
This is what got you here.
Andrevius is right. It's sort of a paradox.
Yeah, if he don't want to play that role, then we'll give him $6 million
remember where
to play.
He's coming to. He's coming to a place where now, with all of that expectation that, because fans aren't the only ones that expect Debo to be utilized that way. So you stick him in the backfield and you got Tyreek on the line or vice versa with Waddle out in the flat. I mean, defenses aren't going to know what to do with themselves. I mean, I'm not saying you wouldn't ever hand the ball off to Debo and use him that way. I'm saying that you wouldn't see it the way we saw it in San Francisco, where it was a feature element of the offense.
But Carter, with that being said, though,
San Francisco was more predictable with him. We will be less predictable with him.
Right. That's what I mean.
But what is his value? But what is his value as a receiver without that hybrid role?
We don't really know.
Thank you. So he's not worth it. That's what I'm saying. He's not worth it. We have assets.
He still can catch the football.
That's what I'm saying. If somebody said we didn't give up the farm for him, I would be great. I'd be like, great. We didn't need him.
So does Cedric Wilson could catch the ball too, and he runs a 4.3.
Yes, he does. Cedric Wilson's very good at it.
Exactly.
I was pounding the table
catch the
for
ball
him
too,
from the
and he
beginning.
runs a 4.3.
Well, Debo just creates a 54th guy in the wide receiver room. If we get Debo, then there's going to be an odd man out eventually.
Listen, I could draft somebody if it's that serious. If it's that serious, I could draft somebody in the 3rd round.
Sorry, Miss Benz. I'm sorry.
The receiver group is really that thin, is that deep in the draft that I could draft somebody in the 3rd round and say, "Hey, catch the ball and run real fast."
You're probably right.
Debo, Cedric Wilson is going to throw his hands up and say, "What the hell is this? Why am I here?" I promise.
No, he's not. No, he'd be good.
Okay, he did not come. Cedric Wilson didn't come here to get 300 yards.
These people don't want their money.
He didn't come here to get 300 yards.
Yeah, I agree there. I don't think Cedric
he did not come here to
just average 30 yards a catch and make up the difference.
Crypto, why y'all like this guy?
He's not coming here to get 300 yards.
Like
Cedric Wilson got pushed aside by CD Lamb. That's what happened. Cedric Wilson ain't a slouch. He got pushed aside by CD Lamb in Dallas. That's what happened there.
All these players have incentives in their contract where they can make money off production. So who want to turn down money?
Who said that? Who said the Dolphins doing deals like that?
Come on, man. We all know.
We're never doing that incentive-based crap.
What are you talking about?
The more we talk about it, the more I'm off of getting Debo. but
you know what? I don't think think anybody gets moved.
But X contract is incentive based.
That's different. X is a special breed,
and he just wanted to get on the and that incentive was just be on the field.
We're not talking about luxury items. We're talking about
literally have a
X is a feature guy on defense. That's different.
But Armstead contract is incentive based also.
You're talking about the anchor of the offensive line. There's a difference.
Okay, so all right. So maybe it's not
role players are not going to get it.
What are you talking? All right. So Cedric Wilson don't care about production then.
On the plus side, if you bring Debo in and they both ball out, then next year neither one of them have leverage on us. So that's
he's just a link in a chain. He's not the main link.
Listen,
Sonia
the chain is weak. The chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
Sonia says
that's the point. It will be no weakest link if we got Debo.
Sonia says dark horse AFC Championship game: Browns versus Dolphins.
That's a very dark horse. That's a very dark horse.
Either that or Denver and Miami.
Denver and Miami. Somebody's going to have to play the Dolphins in the title game. It doesn't matter.
Somebody, right?
Somebody's got to play the Dolphins.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to figure Debo out.
Right.
Color, don't talk your way back into it, okay? Don't do that. You talked your way out of it.
There you go, Color. The train has left the station. He's all aboard.
If it magically happens, good.
Color, you could jump off the train before it gets up to speed.
Exactly, Andrevius. Totally indifferent. You're right. We're on that, man.
I'm not indifferent.
Telling me the train is still moving slow.
If we have to give up what that package said, when we're giving up Wilkins and Byron Jones, I am pissed.
Wilkins.
I would do it do it for the reason to give up Gesicki, but that's only because I believe he's the true poison in the locker room. But I'm like the only one that believes.
Listen, again, if it's just Gesicki, give him up. But
he's
if we have to give up,
kryptonite.
Wilkins,
I really do.
I think
he's the prima donna in the locker room that everybody's.
Listen, you should not touch your defense for that for that one offensive player. It doesn't make any sense. It don't make no sense. It doesn't.
But you got to remember, Mike McDaniels is pulling all the levers.
No, what I remember,
according to Gesicki, Crypto's got to up his ratio to 70-30.
That's what I remember, that the Dolphins are never fully balanced. We are never a balanced team. That's why we always end up in the same predicament, looking crazy, talking something, well, if the defense would have did their job and the offense performed, we would have been in the playoffs. We would have did this. Man, if the offense would have did better and, the defense held it down, but our offense can't score, we would have did this. We are never balanced.
And then you got Gesicki out there in the public media. If our coaches were
not like the Dolphins.
Players.
The Dolphins are completely unbalanced. The last time we were even closely remotely balanced is where the Dolphins were in the AFC Championship again, not the AFC Championship, but one game away from the AFC Championship against San Diego, and we missed a damn field goal.
Yeah, you can blame your boy Pete Stoyanovich for that one.
Yeah, whatever.
Easy, Crypto. Easy, Crypto. That man accomplished so. That man held the third longest field goal in the history of the NFL before he missed that field goal.
I remember that. That was so painful. I was in the wilderness in Germany when that happened.
Color, that was the season I became a Dolphin fan. So that really shows you what my Dolphin lifeline has been.
Right. See,
that really shows.
Good years, man.
That should have been a precursor to what my Dolphin fanhood is going to be like.
Yeah.
But then we followed him up with Lindo Mare, so who cares, right?
Lindo Mare.
There we go.
No, the Ford Revez was in there somewhere, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, Ford Revez, yeah.
So y'all telling me about trading away defenses pieces on our defense. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Quad where number 4 or number 1?
I think he was number 4. No, I think he was 7, wasn't he?
Or 7? Yeah, maybe it was 7.
I'm just saying. If we sit there and we trade away pieces on our defense, we're doing the same thing that we did last year with Flo, but just on the opposite side.
On the opposite side?
Yeah.
Flo's already built the defense there, Don.
Exactly. And we're gonna dismantle it and not have a defense, but we're gonna have a great offense. And we're gonna complain about McDaniel. Oh my gosh.
You're not dismantling it by moving 2 pieces. It's not totally dismantling.
All right. But we already have holes in there, so we're putting more holes in our defense. That's the thing.
Hey,
those guys are not keystones. They're just little rocks in the wall.
Breaking news. Jalen Waddle says he's going to race Tyreek Hill after the media race.
After the media what?
So I guess the media are having a race, and that Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are going to race each other.
I just better know they better go at 50% speed, because if one of them pull a hamstring, I ain't gonna be pissed. if one pull a hamstring, I am gonna lose.
How you gonna judge somebody running a race at 50%?
Listen, the only time I want to see them racing is them racing into the end zone together.
Who do y'all think's gonna win? Go around the horn here. Who's
how far are they running?
How far they running?
I would probably say it's probably a 40-yard.
40 yards.
If it's 40 yards, I'll give it to Waddle. I'll give it to Waddle, but if it's a long distance run, I'm gonna say Tyreek, because he actually ran the 200 and 100.
Right.
Like he has track speed.
Yeah, so Waddle's better short distance than Tyreek, huh?
Yeah, he has.
Are they going to be carrying a football?
Oh yeah, that's important.
No, that is important.
Football, huh?
Are they going to be having a defensive back chasing them?
Are they going to be in pads or no pads? That's the better
right. You got to start putting caveats on it, like
pads or no pads.
He beat me with pads. He beat me without pads.
Are they wearing Nike cleats or Adidas cleats or Under Armour? Which one?
See, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Who can get to the connection? Who can get to his connection point first? Then I would go with Tyreek all day long.
Right. I think he beats him by 200ths of a second.
Yeah, we'll pick a route. We'll pick like a post route or something. Who can get to the 40-yard connection point?
Now, it's a tour route, so that post route got to turn into a slant.
Oh, come on. I can throw 43 yards.
A post is way too long. It got to be a
Yeah,
slant.
but Vaughn, to be fair, I can throw 43 yards. Man.
Me too. Me
Do
too.
y'all remember the argument that
Vaughn,
we had?
you could probably give me one weekend with you on the field.
Hey,
and you could probably
just so y'all know, this was just sent to me. Look at that. Uh-oh. Somebody's on a golf course. God forbid he's not studying his playbook.
Wait, who's that?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek
on a golf
Hill's
course?
on a golf course. He's not
See what
studying his
happened?
playbook.
That's not right now. So I took that pick. I took that pick late afternoon last week.
There you go.
That looks like a Denny's. That looks like a Denny's off of
Hey, and the reason I sent that pick, Von, is I can't tell you how impressive Tyreek Hill is in person physically. He's a lot bigger than he looks like on TV.
All right, but we know if he grows a pot belly, he doesn't produce. We know who corrupted him.
me on the golf course.
Did you play around with him?
I just want to know.
Did you play with him?
Over my hammy.
No. He was on the practice tee next to me.
I just know if Tyreek does not produce like he did while he was in KC, listen, him being on the golf course with Tua is gonna be a firestorm.
Dude,
right?
Tua's out there every damn day with a good 5 or 6 other guys.
Travis Wingfield just retweeted. Waddle says he and Tyreek watch film together every day. Waddle says he also watched Tyreek film a lot before he got here.
Who
I like that.
Again, I don't have no problem with it. If you could learn from film, watch film.
I mean, you can't turn on NFL Network without seeing Tyreek film.
Listen, but at the same time, if you can't learn from film and that doesn't help you, and you have to rep it and rep it and rep it, I need you outside repping it 1,000 times. And if 1,000 times gets you to good and 2,000 gets you to great, I need you at 2,000. If 3,000 gets you to elite, I need you at 3,000.
Right.
Plain and simple, Stephen. Not all people are the same.
So
Some people.
If Jason Sanders goes down, we can send Tua out there with a golf club, and he can just chip shot the ball into the.
Actually, I heard Tua has this drop kick thing that he could do. Right? Was he practicing that? Like a drop kick or some European or Aussie League football kick? That's what I heard he was practicing. Why is he practicing it? I don't know, but he's
I know one thing. This week, the biggest argument that you guys gave me when TD came on Monday's show was that Tua golfing, I can't believe that argument is 70% of y'all said that Tua golfing impacted him being a better player.
What? Come on.
Yeah. So, hold on, Steven.
No,
the thing is,
even I don't believe that. Even I don't believe that.
17%.
And y'all know how I feel about Tua.
Steven, put it in context. Come on, Steven.
No, I'm not putting it in context. That's exactly what y'all said.
No, hold on. No, because this is what I argued that for. Listen, they said that is for his golfing is good for his hips and his physical rehabilitation, right?
Yes.
So if he's already physically rehabilitated,
they said.
Hold on, Steven. No, you are not. No, I know this is your show. No, Steven, I know this is your show.
Go ahead.
Okay, but if he's already rehabilitated and he's physically good, but you are lacking in learning the playbook, and you probably don't know it as well.
They think that Tua should take 3 hours to learn the playbook instead of 3 hours being on a golf course.
Hey,
exactly.
Von.
Ain't no Von what? No.
Hold on here. His rehabilitation just isn't an overnight thing. It's a progression, right?
Of course not. It's been for 3 years. It's been for 3 off seasons.
And it could take 5. It could take 5. We don't know.
I got that time.
We don't know.
That time, my God.
We don't know, but you know what? He's had 7 damn offensive coordinators since he's been here too.
Exactly.
Hey,
so
wait. According to OJ McDuffie, it was only 6.
Well, 6.5. Can we agree?
6.5. But guess what?
6.5.
Guess what? At the same time, he only had one physical therapist.
So, but he's had 2 hits. That was a devastating injury, Von, man. So overcome that overnight. Bo Jackson never even came back from that.
I know he never came. He didn't come it over. He didn't overcome it over the overnight.
But in fairness, Von, Joe,
he didn't overcome it the next night. or the night after that. So
or the next year.
Exactly. But
you're a fairly big cut dude because we see you lifting
good.
weights like every morning, bro.
Yeah, Mr. Clayton and banging.
And what I'm saying is, from my perspective, Vaughn, you're already there. Why don't you just stop lifting weights?
Yeah, why don't you just stop lifting weights, Von Joe?
Vaughn, I'm going to send you a video and you watch it.
Actually, I would stop lifting weights, but at the same time, it's also for my peace of mind.
So,
right.
so
maybe two have found a liking to golf, and that could be his peace of mind.
100%. No. But at the same time, I'm able to do my job efficiently.
Well, obviously,
I'm real good at my job.
We have been forced by the administration to.
I got trophies for my
witness
job
to see whether that can happen next year. You know what I mean?
Listen, I have gotten trophies
Cameron,
at my job.
I love TD.
You know what?
I love Bon Joe.
Hold on.
I love all of you guys. I love 70% of my family.
I'm just not going to follow him all the way through. Like, if he comes out on the field and produces, are you going to say he didn't take the time to learn?
It's the stupidest.
No, at that point, he probably put in that time.
Right. So who are we to say? Who are we going to judge him along the way? Is what I'm saying.
No color, but you're right. But I could only go off history.
Oh, I hear you. I'm with you, bro.
His history showed that
I'm with
he
you.
had
if you're asking me to make a prediction as to whether he will, I'll predict no. But I'm not going to base that on because he's playing golf.
But hold on, no. I'm basing it as playing golf because you put your time in the wrong areas. If you come onto the podium, you talk some. Well,
but that would be fair to say in hindsight, is what I'm saying.
Exactly. But again, I could only go off what history have shown me.
Fair enough for your prediction. Fair enough.
So Von Joe, hold on a minute. So Von Joe, basically, you're the subscriber of the 10,000 hour rule.
I subscribe to whatever it takes rule because again, crypto. I understand some people could watch film once and they got it.
So
some people are gifted.
So you're saying you don't necessarily need 10,000 hours at one given thing to perfect that craft. That's the rule.
Cam, I just saw you tweeted me. I don't even know what you
says
tweeted.
Steven is okay with an okay quarterback not being
Check
an
that
elite
out.
quarterback.
Look, you know me, Vaughn. I just got to find something.
No, Von Joe, what I'm saying.
Hold on, crypto. What you saying?
No, I'm saying is the 10,000 hour rule basically states that you have to have that many amount of hours input into any activity in order to perfect or that particular activity.
That's not true.
That's what you're saying.
Some people. I'm saying that some people are gifted enough to do.
I'm saying if you're not gifted, let's take away those who are not gifted or naturally gifted at that craft.
If you're not gifted, then I need you to listen. 10,000. I need you at 20,000. Whatever it takes for you to perfect that craft. And if you can't perfect it, that's just not your craft. Go do something else.
I guess Vaughn's got a point in that what we've seen already from Tua shows us that he needs to put in the work. And he's not putting in the work.
How do we know he hasn't got 10,000 hours already?
I get that.
Again, crypto, he could have 10,000 hours, but he might need 20,000.
So
I need you to
hold on, guys. So then
the
question. So then my question to the group was. This was my question to the group later. I said, so if there's 24 hours in the day, give me an amount in hours, the amount of hours in a day that should be dedicated to him. Sitting in front of a playbook, doing passing drills,
the law says
whatever the case.
Steven, it's all subjective based on the
only. What's up, y'all?
No,
Steven,
you know
only
what
two
TD
knows
said?
that.
TD said,
exactly.
What did he say? 14 hours a day. He should.
TD said 14.
I don't think that there's any number you could put on something like that because everybody's different.
Yeah, everybody's learning curve.
I wanted to come on here and
we all work an 8-hour
base number as the
standard is 8.
Having this panel. I know I've been MIA, I've been real busy with work, but I'm here. So I just want to say also to some of the shows that were on last night.
No, TD's
Miami Sports Fanatic.
No, he's not. He's not clueless. Don't do that. Don't do that.
And the Fence Tailgate. The Fence Tailgate, I get down with Bruce Campbell. That's what's up. I'm glad y'all brought that up. I enjoyed
Cameron,
that.
Don't get me in trouble. Cameron's got access to put stuff up on the screen.
Hey,
he's part of Miami Sports.
You fell into that TD trap again.
No, Stephen D, we realized last night that the honky tonk man from WWE looks strikingly similar to Bruce Campbell.
Steven,
I wanted to give the reason I came on here is I wanted to give Pete some credit. I don't know where Pete went, but he was on Miami Sports Fanatics yesterday, and I understand that everybody's was intrigued by inside source information. That's cool. We all appreciate that. Definitely appreciate it. But he brought up a good point that he just wasn't giving credit on. I know Pete says some crazy stuff, but the point that he made, which is a point that I made last year, and it's happening again this year. It's 3 years in a row of him looking awesome. The next, Drew Brees without pads. So just pump the brakes on whatever you hear, all the videos coming out. Let's just wait and see what's going to happen when the pads come on. Let's see if the velocity on the ball and the arm strength and everything looks the same. That's that's it. He made a really good point. Nobody gave him credit for it last night. So
we hope it's improved.
But Steven, go off your question about how many hours he should put in, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Tua know how many hours he put in last year. And I'm pretty sure he attests that, listen, and this is what he said himself. Hey, I didn't know the playbook well enough to go up there and change plays. So, I just, we ran the play that, whatever they gave me. I just said hike. And, whatever happened.
Not what you said, Vaughn.
Okay. I'm listen, that's pretty much that was the gist of it. I just
No, it's not.
I just said hike and whatever happened. Okay. All right. Okay.
In summation.
So
Vaughn, you're the Fox News network of this chat.
So what you're saying is Tua basically flat out admitted to sucking.
It's pretty much. And so he knew that he didn't put enough work in to know that.
Tucker Von Joe, go ahead.
If he only put in 8 hours, then guess what? This year he should have sat there and said, "Man, I put in 8 hours and I've spent 3 hours at the golf course. Okay, you know what? I'm going to put in 11 hours now and trade in that golf course time to the playbook time."
You're killing me.
Vaughn, you are the Tucker Von Joe.
So there it is. That's what it is.
What he said, he was only given half the playbook by Chan Gailey. This is 2 years ago.
I'm talking about last year.
No, he didn't say this last year.
Say that shit last year.
He said it 2 years ago, and it was in reference to Chan Gailey only giving him half the playbook.
1 second.
Half the playbook for games because he felt Chan Gailey didn't trust him. That wasn't Tua admitting that he didn't know the playbook, because he did know the playbook. It was Chan Gailey only implementing half the playbook for Tua.
So you tell me, why doesn't he go up there and audible and change plays?
Hold on, let Robert go. Let Robert go.
Because I could have sworn he said
Robert, welcome to the hold on, Bonjo. Robert, welcome to the panel. Go ahead, Robert.
All right. So
hey, Steven, after Robert goes, I have a question.
Just let me get this out real quick. So I'm a sergeant first class in the Army. I've trained over 120-something soldiers to do software development.
Well, thank you for your services, sir.
Thank you, Robert.
I appreciate it. Thank you. There's a point where burnout takes effect and learning is no longer effective. It is actually more beneficial to step away from something at a certain point in time, let your mind come off it, and then go back and pick it back up again. Yep. I don't give a crap.
Did we just lose Robert?
See
what happened? He was actually making a good point.
He said, "Listen, no, he wasn't. That's why he got cut off."
Listen. His microphone might be messed up, but there's one thing that Robert's good at, and that's killing Nazis. Listen, I have a question for the entire panel. I have a question.
Hold on, Estefan. Go ahead. Say it, Robert. Try it again, Robert.
Am I sounding better, or am I still all garbled?
No, it's you.
Man,
we couldn't hear you at all.
I don't give a crap. That's where you left.
You got Tua's that Tua connection. It's kind of inconsistent. Ball placements all over the place.
So let's try this one more time.
See?
If it sounds better, great.
All right, go for it.
There's a point in time to where your brain cannot absorb any more information. There's a reason studying for 12.
We tried, Robert.
Is it me?
No, it's
well,
Robert.
he does have a point, because Tua Wonderlic was like what, 16 or 13? I know his Wonderlic was below.
I got a question for the entire panel. I don't need no long answers, just yes or no, flat out, and be honest.
All right,
if we were to get Debo this year, do you think that we're a Super Bowl contender? I'm asking everybody, yes or no?
No.
Nope. Nope.
Yes.
Okay, who said yes?
I do.
I did.
Crypto said it
Okay.
first. I say it second.
Okay, so 2 people. So here's my theory, and I believe this is what the Dolphins are thinking. So I understand. I mean, I'm hearing that the Jets are going to end up landing him, right? But
Well, my prediction was
first
from
of
the
all,
get-go.
who the hell wants to play for the Jets? You know, he might. I think he's better off staying in San Fran for another year. So, but this is my theory. Okay, so
Listen,
if you say
I ain't gonna hold you,
That's
Esther.
the
you
problem.
need to put
A lot of people don't believe nobody wanted to play for the Dolphins until they wanted to play for the Dolphins, so it don't matter.
Listen,
Okay,
if Jets
so
offer me
Crypto
a contract,
Steven.
I'm playing.
Go ahead, Esther. Go ahead, Esther.
Okay, listen. I think at that point, then I think Debo is a critical trade that needs to be made. If that's your belief, I'm not saying that's mine. I'm just saying if you can honestly see a Super Bowl, title somewhere this year, you got to make that trade. You have to.
I don't disagree with you. Level 2 Noob says during the regular season, not counting the bye week, his focus as a quarterback and a leader of this team should solely be football. Golf all day, every day during the off season. Robert is back. Robert, do you want to try to finish this?
Listen, Robert, I
Yeah,
would love to finish it with you.
That don't
Hold
make
on.
no sense.
Steven, I gotta go. It's 12:45. You started late, and I gotta get to work. I just noticed what time it is.
Get out of
Listen,
here,
you-
Bonjo. You
Listen,
owe to
love
the
you guys,
swear
man.
jar.
I
Bonjo,
do.
you owe to the swear jar today. You owe to the
I
swear
do. I
jar.
got you.
All right.
Love you
And I
guys.
gotta
Fins
go
up.
too. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's day.
Bye, MCJB. Be good, bro.
Well, I'll say the point anyways.
Go ahead, Robert.
So there is a point where your brain just stops absorbing information.
We
It
try.
varies-
Right about the point where the cell tower gives up on him.
I feel like the universe is saying look, I agree with your point, Robert. I know what you're trying to say.
There is a point at which a cell tower can only take in so much data and has to shut off.
It's the end of the month, man. Cricket gives out.
Hey, Debo Samuel just posted on Twitter. He said, too real to entertain half the stuff y'all be saying, but it do be funny though. Everybody want their voice to be heard about the situation they know nothing about and just be saying whatever the next person say. Have a blessed day.
He must be listening to us.
Oh,
Debo might be listening
Who's
to
talking the
us.
loudest? That's probably why he said that.
Debo Samuel might be listening to Clock Blockers.
You should tweet at him right now.
Debo's like, except that guy Color. He says everything opposite.
What should I tweet to him?
I like
Shoot
him.
your shot, bro. Ask him to come on.
Okay, all right, I will. Go ahead and
Shoot
talk.
your
I'm
shot,
writing this
Steven.
while I'm putting this on.
Ask him.
We
If
here
you
at
come
Clock
to
Blockers
Miami,
think you are
do
a
you
pure
think-
wide receiver, Debo. We love
do
you.
you think we can win the title this year?
Listen, we're all 0-0 until that first kickoff. Of course, we think we're going to win the title.
I would say no. We're not. Yes, we could win a Super Bowl, but no, we're not contenders.
Hey, I'll tell you this, Color. We have a playoff playoff ready defense, and the changes on paper on the offensive side of things, I think, brings us up to that the defensive level.
I tend to agree with that assessment. You have to add something to what we did last year, given what we've added.
And it was the offense, right? And look what they've added. Arguably the best.
I'm just one of those people that I believe that a team could get to a Super Bowl and even win it, but still not be a contender. I think there's a certain paradigm that fits contender. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what a contender is. You know it when you see it. And even teams that get into the Super Bowl and even win them sometimes are not actually contenders.
So they're like the one-hit wonders of the world, basically.
Like they fell into it. Like I keep saying, Tua could get us to this. Tua could legitimately shoulder the team to a Super Bowl appearance, but he would only fall into a win. Like Jared Goff.
Like Trent Dilfer?
No, more
Trent
like
Dilfer.
Jared Goff. Like you're good enough to actually take your team there. It's because of you, but that guy on the other side of the ball was the one that only ever had a shot to win it.
Well, listen, it's 12 on offense or 11 on offense, 11 on
Yeah,
defense.
I mean, exactly.
Right.
There's always two teams playing. You know what I mean?
All right, so I just tweeted at him. I said, come on our live YouTube show, Clock Blockers on Miami Sports Music. We'd love you down here in Miami, and we'd love to have you and we would love to have you come on live with us and just shoot the you-know-what with us. Let's go. Fins up. DM me for the link to come on. And I put a link to...
Right on.
Let's see if it happens.
Just to conclude what I was saying, a contender is a team that makes moves, legitimately makes moves in week 2 because they know they've got to do certain things to be ready for the Super Bowl. That's a contender.
With your definition of contender, then the Dolphins are a contender.
Well, I mean, that it still remains to be seen, but we'll know.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I couldn't say at week 2, oh man, we are a contender. You know what I mean? Paper kind of shows we are. You know what I mean? Sure.
Yeah, on paper, yeah. I guess that's what Estefan was getting at.
It's kind of like it's
doing that on paper.
Cameron. It's like the word elite. You know what I mean? Everybody kind of has their own criteria as to when they use that word. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but so let me ask you. So we're sitting here, talking about Debo just a little bit, and in the NFL, does one player added to your team automatically make you a contender compared to other sports?
It could.
It could. Depends on who already on the roster, Steven.
Matt Stafford turned the Rams into a visitor to a contender.
But I feel like the quarterback position is a little bit different than, wide receiver, running back, defensive, any defensive position,
Fair enough. Aaron Donald, I mean.
Well, Aaron, yeah. Or you could say that one year when Randy Moss went to the Patriots, that made them nearly unbeatable, and they almost was unbeatable.
Right.
He was the one difference maker.
That was a crazy offense, that Patriots
right, but he was the one guy that they added that made that difference.
So Cam Newton is the Super Bowl champion without Von Miller being alive.
See, I think that my biggest reason, well, there's a few big reasons I really want Debo, but the biggest one is yards after the catch.
Uh-oh.
And I just think that Debo brings that to the Dolphins. And look, even Tyreek isn't top 10 in yak in the NFL. And so for somebody that, is throwing 2 or 3 yard slant passes, having Debo Samuel being able to, have an additional, what was it? An additional 4 yards. That extends drives. That extends drives, and that keeps the ball in the offensive hand, which means time of possessions in our hands. I personally think it's a no-brainer to go after him. Personally, I get the argument that some people are like, we already have enough receivers. I think Debo's special. That's just my opinion.
A lot of people thought that last year that we had enough receivers, and they was all banged up every time.
And Steven, I'll agree to you to an extent, and I'll say that if they can acquire him without giving up both first-round draft picks next year, then we got a shot. But I don't think Greer wants to give up both just because he does. It's his fallback, and I mentioned this last week. Like, that's his safety net if things implode this year, even if Greer's around next year. But if he is, and this team doesn't make the playoffs, and Tua is not our quarterback going into next season, then you have those 2 first-round draft picks to fall back on, to move up, to get your quarterback or trade for a veteran.
On the same token, Cameron, what you bring up there was actually part of what the next point I was going to make is that it could also be seen as an insurance policy to bring Debo in, because we saw what happened. Like Crypto said, the wide receiver room was stacked last year, but everybody was either hurt or trash. And it's like at this point, well, which guy, if you get our worst wide receiver ends up being the 54th man when cuts come by because we got Debo, then which of our wide receivers is everybody going to point to as trash if our quarterback doesn't succeed? You know what I mean? So
yeah, but I also think that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? Stacked to us last year was Parker, Waddle, and Hollins, right?
Sure.
And this year there's no question that the definition of stacked is much different when referring to our wide receivers.
Well, some of us thought that our wide receiver room last year was sufficiently stacked. Now that there's an argument about that, you know what I mean? And a fair one, I would say.
I was banging the table. We needed a brand new set.
Now it's kind of like overkill. It's like, okay, well, if you don't think it's because of this, then here you go. You know what I mean? What is it now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which one of those wide receivers is going to get thrown under the bus by the fan base?
Yeah,
Well,
and you know what,
another question real quick, y'all. Because, I know you guys want to move on from talking about Debo, but
No, hold on, Estefan. I want to finish this conversation. Just keep your question on hold. Go ahead, Cameron. What were you about to say? I don't want to change subjects yet.
There was Mike in the comments here made up a good point. We traded away a number 1 for Tyreek Hill. We drafted Waddle number 1 last year. You're going to go 3 years in a row spending a first-round draft pick on a wide receiver that's kind of redundant and isn't,
right.
To that point, I can see less of an obvious choice. Now, if Debo Greer is able to, trade less, assets or maybe a player than not include those 2 number 1s, then I'd say, we're for it. But I don't see it happening and Greer including those 2 number 1s.
Now, with all of that being said with Debo, right? So this is something that FanDuel put up in the last day or two. These are the top 10 wide receivers in the AFC. Devontae Adams 1, Tyreek Hill 2, Jamar Chase 3, Stephon Diggs 4, A.J. Brown 5, Keenan Allen 6, Deontay Johnson of the Steelers 7, Jalen Waddle 8, Mike Williams 9, T. Higgins 10.
Quick question, Stephen D. That's from FanDuel. Is that fantasy production list or is that pure NFL stats?
I'm not sure. This is what they say their top 10 AFC wide receivers are. So my first question to you guys, because I have a follow-up, is do you think this is an accurate list?
I mean, it looks like
fair.
Fair enough, yeah.
It is fair. It is fair.
Even if it's fantasy point based, I mean, that is fair.
Well, if it's fantasy point based, then Debo Samuel should be right smack where in 1.
Well, that was my follow-up question.
What I mean?
Where would, if Debo were to get traded to the Dolphins, where would he go in the list?
What I'm saying, Stephen D, is if you look look week by week last year when you go to build your lineups and you look at who has, you base it on, people look at average fantasy points they've been accruing. Debo Samuel was consistently 1, 2, and 3 on that list all year last year. So the fact that he's not on this list from FanDuel is surprising to me because literally with fantasy production, he should be at like number 2. Already for what he's actually already produced, not prediction wise. You know what I mean?
Actually, we'll go crypto. Crypto, where would you put Debo in this list?
At Cooper Kupp as well. That's a great point.
I would say 5.
No, this is AFC, not NFC, guys.
Oh, right. Forgot.
That's
why Debo's not there. That makes sense. There's the answer.
You would put him at 5. You'd be the 5th.
Yes.
All right, Cameron, where would you put Debo if Debo were to get traded to the AFC?
I would say above Stephon.
See, I would.
Yeah, that's why I was contemplating 4 or 5.
I'm with Stephen D.
I think he's at 3. I think he's above Jamar Chase.
It's interesting looking at this.
Jamar Chase has 3 200-yard games under his belt.
It's interesting looking at this top 10 list of AFC wide receivers. There's 2 each from the Dolphins, the Bengals. And the Chargers. Burrow, Herbert, Abear rather, and Tua, all the young guns. You add Debo onto that list, and hypothetically, on paper, Tua would have more weapons, giving him greater opportunity to surpass Burrow or Abear, right?
Yes.
Herbert.
Correct. I want to point out something else interesting about that list.
They would.
The 2 quarterbacks, real quick, the 2 quarterbacks that always get referenced when people start arguing about Tua.
Herbert,
look how many of both of theirs both of them have 2 wide receivers on that list.
Herbert and Burrow. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was just meaning, talking about.
He would have immediately probably two guys up there.
Well, he would have 3 because he's already got 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waddle and Hill.
Let me bring on Louis A in the back room. What's up, Luis? How are you doing, man?
Hey, good, Steven. Thanks for bringing me on. What's going on?
No problem,
everybody?
man. Thank you for watching the show. And
hey, Louis.
Man, you're a
how you
big
doing, man?
supporter of the show. I appreciate it, bro.
Welcome to the show, Louis.
How you doing,
Louis? I
Hey, Louis.
appreciate you guys. Hey, like with the Devo thing, especially like with the fantasy that we're talking about, we got to remember he had 14-something hundred yards last year with San Francisco, but he was the only piece that San Francisco really had. Like, does anybody think he's going to get 1,400 yards with the Dolphins? Because
well, you got to remember Kittle was there. Kittle had skills.
And Elijah Mitchell.
Right, but
Brandon Ayuk, come on.
Yeah, but Brandon Ayuk he's not a Tyreek or a Waddle. And then with Kittle, it's like, yeah, okay, you can give me Kittle, but we got Cedric Wilson. We want Lynn Bowden to have a big year. You also have Gesicki. You hit Waddle Hill.
Luis,
we bring Debo in. That's taking
where does
balls
he
away
fit?
from all
Where
those
does he
people.
fit? So let me state this. Number one, you bring up a very valid point, but I think you come here now with the point understanding of all wide receivers cannot be prima donnas here. There is a big locker room here, and you got to understand you're probably not going to get the same amount of yards that you were going to get in years past when you were the true number one on that said team. Now we have 3 number ones in the locker room if Debo were to come here, right? There'd be Debo, Jalen, and Tyreek, who are all, arguably number ones in their own mind, and they're outright, correct? So they all have to have that understanding of the ball's got to be shared. It's got to be distributed, not only is to the 3 of us, but other people on this team too. People out of the backfield, tight ends, so on and so forth. So I don't think it'll be a big problem because I think it'll be, whether it's said verbally or non-verbally, it's got to be kind of known of, hey, look, I can't be arguing about not getting the ball because, as long as it's getting distributed, I think that won't be a big deal. That's just my personal opinion of it.
And who's the one that's most likely to humble himself and step aside if needed? The guy that's already accomplished a Super Bowl victory.
Well, that as well as Color, you bring up a good point too. The last person to the table, because he's got to know, hey, look, I'm here and I already know what the deal is. Debo knows exactly what the deal is in South Florida.
Right.
He knows,
and he's still expressing interest in being
and he
here.
still wants to come here. If he was truly being a prima donna, like 90% of wide receivers are, he'd be like, I want to go somewhere where I'm going to get the catches, or I want to go somewhere where I'm specifically going to play, X, Y, and Z. I don't think that's the case in Miami. I think, you got to remember.
Yeah, if he's focused on catches.
Him and McDaniel on Instagram, what was it, 2 weeks ago now, guys? We're having lunch together. These guys are good friends. I just think that there's an understanding that if Debo comes here, everybody knows what the deal is, and that's to win games. No matter which way you got to do it, that's how it's going to be done. So whether he gets 1,400 yards or 700, I don't think he's going to care as long as W's are going on the board and everybody's winning. Winning cures.
Man, Debo on this team, Steven, makes things very interesting, in my opinion, for the coach because of the expectations that'll be there, because they're giving you your guy. You know what I mean? And we're probably going to have to give up quite a bit just to get it. I would be interested just to see how that would play out. Man.
The expectations on McDaniel is going to go through the roof. He's got to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's playoffs or bust.
But Crypto, to that point, I've made that point before, but he has shown nothing so far but willingness to take on as much on his plate as possible. The guy obviously believes heavily in himself. You know what I mean? Because he just keeps, every move he makes is like, give me more, put more pressure on me, make it even more like, anybody can win with that. Well, that's what increases the pressure, because if you don't, then you fall off a cliff. You know what I mean?
Let me actually, I want to give Estefan the opportunity to change the subject real quick. I do have a question for y'all that's not related to Debo. Esther, do you want to go, or do you want me to ask my question first?
That's fine.
All right. So there's a rumor going around that, there's nothing coming from the national media on this, right? Do you think there is a world where the Dolphins get back into the first round tomorrow night? If so, how? What do you see? Cameron, you're shaking your head. Yes, I'll go to you first.
We've earned it.
Yeah, Gesicki and one of next year's number ones.
And who would that be for? Like, who would you get? Like, is there a player?
See, that's the thing. I don't think there's anybody worth, unless you're looking at the tackle from Alabama, Neal, or the kid from the NC State. I don't think.
Or one of the Georgia linebackers.
You're one of the Georgia linemen. You have to go back to get a linebacker at that point.
I said this last month. Like, this draft isn't top heavy with excellent talent. It's mid round heavy with solid, bench players and support players. That's why I don't think Detroit or Jacksonville hasn't claimed who they're going to pick number one, because they're not sold on who's a number one.
They're shopping. They're shopping the number one.
Well, that's my point.
Pick.
That's my
Peterson
point.
wants to, I'm sure Peterson wants
to work. They spend a lot of cash in the
I gotta answer this. I believe there is, because, and I think Cameron hit around the head with Gesicki, but if you look at a team that's going to make a trade like that, okay, so I don't think this is a draft where you try to get into the top 10, but it's somewhere in the back end of the first round. There's a lot of teams that feel like they're just a few pieces away from winning a title. So you would look at the positions where we have depth, and that would be our defensive tackle position and tight end. We're loaded at tight end, and if you can still move on from Christian Wilkins, he's a former first-round pick. You can still get into the back end of the first round with one of those two guys, I believe.
Well,
yeah.
I'll say for the other thing, from the standpoint of, it brings me back to the year that we had the number one overall pick and we got Jake Long, right?
Don't bring up that nightmare. Stop it.
It's a matter like Jacksonville. I think this is one of those years you don't even want the number one overall pick, because you're not.
They want it. They're going to get a lineman.
There's no.
They already got their franchise quarterback already.
If I was Jacksonville, I'd be trading out of the first overall pick right now.
Hey, and you got to remember, Jacksonville just signed their offensive left tackle, Cam Robinson. So I don't see them taking a left tackle with the first pick.
Yeah,
they can get a right tackle, or they can get some.
But you do not spend the first pick of the draft for the right tackle.
No way.
No,
you do not do that.
Defensive backs.
Well, you never know. People are rule breakers and trendsetters, so you don't say just because it hasn't been done, it can't be done.
The question is, do we have a defensive back? Real quick, the question is, do we have a defensive back that we think is good enough for Jacksonville to want, but not as good as a linebacker, let's say, that we're targeting in the first round? That's the question, as to whether Jacksonville does it.
From the Dolphins' standpoint, Color, I think look, if there is any scenario that they go into the first round, it's going to be 20 pick and above. Like, it's not going to be a top 20 pick. It'll be 20 and above.
Right. I don't think Miami wants the top pick.
And I'll even go as far more to say is that, what is the difference between a tackle and a linebacker at the end of the first round or somebody in the second? I don't think there's much. And I'll say this. If there's somebody that they absolutely love, I could see them getting into the second round if somebody drops, but I don't think they're going to get into the first round.
Hey, I think they could get into the low first rounds. I think it would cost them.
Yeah, but
it's going to cost them players and first rounds next year.
It would cost them one first round, maybe their own, and a player, and they could possibly do it.
But
somebody with a first round.
Not in this draft. Not in this draft. Not with how strong next year's draft is.
The only reason that
there's all speculations about which draft is strong versus other. Last year's draft supposed to have been weak, and it turned out not to be. I mean, you never know until they start playing football. A lot of people said Jamar Chase was going to be a bust, and what happened to that?
There's at least 5 or 6 quarterbacks in next year's draft that I think are all better than Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett.
Well, the thing about it, I just don't want to see Miami get rid of San Francisco's first pick, because if they're going with a young quarterback, and no matter where Debo ends up, I would love. Everybody was trashing me last week. I said, if the Jets get him, it might be a good thing, because he's not going to re-sign with the Jets, and they're going to mortgage their future. They're going to mortgage their
offer him a big contract extension, and he'd take it.
But they're going to mortgage their whole future, and he won't take it in New York.
So, Sean, that first round pick is not.
I don't know. I don't trust it. Things happen.
It's not going nowhere.
The unexpected always happen, and I'm never falling for the banana in the tailpipe. He can go to a team that we don't like or don't want him to go to. Just because it don't fit the Dolphins' narrative, and it's going to make it too competitive. We don't want him. We don't see him going there.
Hey, the one thing I'm going to say is the top 5 pick that we could end up with from San Francisco's first pick next year. That's the one I'm making untradeable. I wouldn't trade. I would trade anything other pick. That's the one thing I would keep
San
because
Francisco's pick next year, I think, is untouchable. I don't.
Here's the thing,
and that
Here's the
includes
thing.
for Debo. That includes for Debo Samuel.
Here's the thing: if we're going to replace Byron Jones with the top corner next year, even if Byron Jones is here this year, I don't think he'll be here past next year. Now here,
I got to remove my helmet on this take real quick, Todd.
Hold on. If you have the
San
number
Francisco
4
pick, you guys were
if
saying
you have the number
last year about San Francisco pick.
If you have a number
Stop
4
it.
or 5 pick next year, you can trade back and stay in the top 10 and get another pick for the following year because of all the quarterbacks that are coming out.
I think that San Francisco pick is very important. Like very important to us.
That San Francisco pick.
They're gonna want their pick back. I'm sorry, it's bad news. If you're dealing with Debo, they're gonna want their pick back.
Listen. Look, I know we all think the Jets are idiots, but are you really going to give up that much capital for 1 year for a player? That doesn't make any sense.
Who's just saying that Debo?
They know that he's going to sign long term with them, or even if he don't,
that makes absolutely no sense. That you're going to give up all that for 1 year.
Esther, they drafted
Steven,
Kenny
give me a
O'Brien
second.
over Dan Marino, bro.
Exactly. Jesus Christ. Who says it's 1 year? Debo never said it was going to be 1 year.
Go ahead, Vonjo.
We're assuming that it's going to be 1 year. We don't know he's going to fall in love and might want to stay there.
That's true. But everybody keep talking about this San Fran pick. Why everybody why people keep thinking San Fran's going to be absolutely trash, that it's going to be a top 5 pick?
Exactly. They keep falling for that nonsense. They playing in the NFC.
That all depends on what McDaniel is feeding Chris Greer for inside info.
But Vonjo, what's more likely? The Dolphins have a worse year or the 49ers have a worse year?
They both can have great years.
Hold on. They both have great, because here's the thing. One, the NFC is been depleted. All the talent been moved to the AFC, right? Secondly, if Debo leaves, remember, we already said at the beginning of this stream that Debo was a design because of a panic attack because they lost all their stable running backs, right? So that's what made Debo special. If all their running backs are just fine, okay, guess what? That running game, that O-line is still intact, and that defense is still there.
Hey, Vonjo.
They are very high on Trey Lance. We think he's trash.
He's no slouch.
We think
he won 3 games for them last season.
Game with Jimmy G, guys. Come on,
again,
they're all right.
Exactly. So we just automatically think that San Fran is going to be a top 5 pick.
That's what I'm saying. They falling for the okie doke again, thinking San Fran going to be bad.
They easily could get into the playoffs in that weak NFC. And guess what? If they get into the playoffs and make another run, guess what? It's not a top 5 pick.
Exactly. It's the 20s again.
Vonjo, the one thing I will say.
Go ahead, Chucker. Go ahead, my bad.
Well, no, I was just saying the one thing I'll say is it may be a weaker NFC, but they're still in a strong division with the Rams and among others.
They were in a strong division last year. They were in a division that won the championship.
And Debo was the big reason for them making it.
No, it wasn't.
You're wrong.
They went on the streak prior to them winning using Debo like that.
In the 2 meetings during the regular season, the Niners outscored the Rams 56-38.
Come on, guys. Let's just get off that for a second. Don't hold your hat on, the 49ers are going to be trash next year and their pick is going to be...
All because of Debo being gone?
No.
You don't think that coach and staff don't know how to utilize the next man up?
Not afraid of their division.
In that role?
What's the other reason?
The other reason why is because you mentioned their O-line. Their O-line is getting up there in age. Trent Williams is going to be 30. It's going to be 35 years old.
1 year.
That's just 1 year older, huh?
They're 1 year older. It's already.
And the opposing defenses in their division are going to be 1 year older too.
But Glitchy can't stay healthy.
Von Miller ain't with the Rams anymore.
And Von Miller ain't with the Rams.
And guess what? Mostert can't stay healthy either, but we up there high on him.
The opposing defenses in their division is 1 year older too.
They have no
Mostert can't stay
secondary.
happy.
Alex, they have no secondary at all.
Gotta roll.
They have
All
no
right, Cam,
secondary.
love you, brother. Hey, Cam.
Later, Cam.
Hey, Cam, tell those people that those sweaters are on their way out the door.
They are on the way. I'll get them out this weekend. Actually, I'm gonna hit up Miss Finns and try to see her in
You
person.
guys are so gullible, thinking
Alex,
that the
they
Niners
have no,
are going to
they,
be
they have
bad.
no
I think
secondary.
we
But
just
they
Just
have a
talked
great
because it
ourselves
suits your
linebacker
narrative
core.
of being a high pick. Stop it.
Be good.
Just because it suits the narrative of possibly getting a high pick, you want them to do bad, and you hope that they
I
do
think
bad,
we
not
just
being
talked
realistic.
ourselves into taking the Niners
But
for
look,
the
at the end of
NFC
the day,
Conference
at
champ.
the end of the day, I hope that they end up that pick ends up being top 5.
Okay,
Yeah,
say that.
So.
Say that. Say you
Say
hope.
that,
Don't
but don't say it's
don't say it's
guaranteed.
going to be.
I mean, I
Because
think
it's not.
I don't think San Fran will be that good next year, even
But
with
there's
or without
nothing.
Debo.
Hold on. There's nothing that shows you that they won't be that good next year. What are you talking about?
Seriously,
Right, nothing.
what evidence?
And it was nothing the previous year too, Von Joe, when they were saying that about Garoppolo and Lance.
Exactly.
And look what happened.
I haven't. Everybody keeps saying this, and I look at the book and I'm reading
And
it.
they
I'm
had
like,
Debo. They
where
didn't
is
think
the
Debo was
evidence
going to turn
shows
out that
San
way.
Fran is going to be trash. That San Fran's going to end up with a top 5. If anything, this shows us what I've seen shows us that San Fran pick is not going to be worth a top 5 or a top 10.
And I don't remember Trey Lance being a flop when he came in for Jimmy G.
He didn't. They was alternating plays at the very beginning. He actually got a couple of wins under his belt when Jimmy G was out.
We sit there and say, "Oh, Trey Lance is not going to be that great. This is his second year." Oh my
Yeah, because
gosh,
we're all projecting what we feel about Tua onto him.
I didn't say that.
Let's
I
not
just want to
forget
put it
about
out there.
how.
I did not say that. That was color commentary, not Von Joe.
Let's not forget about how
What it
the
is
Seahawks.
we think
the Seahawks lost Russell Wilson.
Rodgers is going to be as bad as our quarterback.
And the Arizona Cardinals.
I just can't wait to see. I just can't wait to see color commentary.
It's going to be. It's not going to be hard for the 49ers to go back to the playoffs.
Man, y'all tripped me up, man. Because Steven, I just had to come on because again, I got to get back to work, but I just couldn't hear no more of that nonsense of the 49ers. Oh, it's going to be a top 5 pick. Oh, it's going to be in the top 10 pick. Nope, nothing. I'm literally flipping through pages like 49ers. Yeah, that defense.
And who was to say the top 10 pick that we were to select?
I've already.
It's going to turn out to be. It could be the next Deion Jordan.
Out the color and the pattern, man.
Even if it is a top 10 pick, we could be selecting the next Deion Jordan.
Hey, Von Joe, before you get out of here, go ahead and promote this. Go ahead and promote it, Von Joe.
Guys, we already know how I feel about my people that gives us great commentary. Where else did you get? How many hours are we in now?
We're almost at 3 hours.
3 hours of Dolphin news, Dolphin commentary, great debates, respectable debates, right? You can't get that. You can't even get that on Twitter because on Twitter it gets real toxic and you have to leave. But here you get great debates, great information about the team that we love. I think I was watching. I think I looked at Get Up. They probably gave us a ticker on the Dolphins. The Dolphins got a ticker. But here you get to listen, donate, support the channel. And 2, remember when we had that great secondary? It was a no pass zone type of secondary. Nobody would dare throw the ball when our secondary was out there. Guess what? Patrick Surtain was part of that secondary. And it's an autographed jersey of one of our legendary DBs who came back home. Donate just $10 and you could possibly win that jersey.
I'm coming home.
And remember, Cash App and PayPal doubles.
Hold on, Cash App gives you 2.
Yep. If you donate $10 through Cash App or PayPal, I double your entry.
Exactly. That's BOGO. And the only other place you can get BOGO is at Publix.
And if you donate $50 anywhere, I'll triple it.
I'll
triple your entry.
If Von
If
Joe
you
can
donate
tell us
$50, I'll triple
it.
You triple it? What?
You want to triple it to $50.
That's 3 for 1. Man, listen, I love you guys. I got to get back to work. I just
if
had
Von
to come
Joe
on
can tell us who the DC was for Patrick Surtain, I'll get in the contest.
Grab that credit card.
What did you say, Color?
If I can tell who the
Von
DC
Joe can
is.
tell us who the DC was for Patrick Surtain, I'll get in the contest.
Dang it, man. You got me there.
Oh, actually, you want me to tell you who it was?
Was it Mike Nolan?
No,
it was not Mike Nolan.
No.
It was Jim Bates.
No way.
It wasn't still Olivedati?
It was Jim Bates.
You sure?
Yep.
I'm going to have to look that one up. But again, I got to get back to work.
Hi, Bon Joe. Thank you, brother. Hey, Batman's in here real quick. What's up, Batman?
What's up, Batman?
Batman came back through. What's up, Batman?
I'll be nice.
What's going on, guys? Just take my lunch break, listening to you guys. How's everybody doing?
Hey, I'm just trying to be nice here. He was saying how it's been great debate for 3 hours. I was just going to say minus the time Pete was on.
No, don't do that. We love Pete here.
Hey, Batman.
It brings great
if you want
interest.
to save me from earlier and like just own up to what's under your hat, bro, I could like tell people who the hairless guy is over at Miami Sports Fanatics.
Would that be Batman?
Yeah,
I ain't saying it.
Batman, show us
I
your
don't know.
head.
That might have been something in confidence that I'm not supposed to reveal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just recently cut
Too
my
late,
hair.
color. The cat is out of the bag.
Oh, look at that!
Look at
Look at that, Batman. I love it. All right, guys, let's do final thoughts of the day. Donate to the channel. If you donate on YouTube right now, it's $118. Any donation on YouTube, that's $10 in increments of 10, just like regularly. I'll double it, even on YouTube. So donate to the channel, help the channel go. Remember, if you donate $50, I'll triple it, and that'll be for the Patrick Surtain autographed jersey. We'll do around the horn here for final thoughts of the day. We'll start out with Alexander. Alexander, final thought of the day.
You know, I just hope that you know, if we could get Debo, that'd be great. You know, but you know, only time will tell where we go with this. You know, where we're going to draft and you know, where we go with this whole Debo thing. But Color, to answer your question, Jim Bates took over into the year 2000. That was his first year. That was Surtain's third year of the on the team, and Madison's fourth year as well. But you know, we'll see where we go. You know, I'm really excited about this season. I'm really excited about this. This has been a great off season, you know, for us. You know, and it leads to great things. I hope it leads to great things, but we'll see. We'll see where time goes. But you guys have a great night. God bless you guys. Stay safe, my friends. My second family.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Stay
No
thirsty,
problem.
and I love you guys, bro.
Love you
guys,
too,
man.
be
Hey,
good.
does anybody
Alex.
Does anybody know what Debo just tweeted about everything? He just threw out a tweet. It says on Bleacher Report amid the rumors.
I just posted something.
I think he posted something.
Yeah, I just said
was
it.
that the same thing?
But it wasn't
He
anything
posted.
big. It wasn't anything big. It was just more. He was laughing at people and their.
Oh, he was saying something about everybody wants a voice or something.
Yeah. We had already talked about it. You're late there, Todd.
I had somebody in the car working.
Hey,
right.
Stephen D, I'm going to give my final thoughts real quick because I got to run, but
Hey,
mainly
Color, go
it's
ahead.
just to give a shout out to Batman there and Gio over at Miami Sports Fanatics. As you can see, they delivered on their promise to because I won the TPP. Aronde Gadsden signed Miami Against Cancer hat. And Batman hand delivered it himself on the way back down from Orlando the other night.
That's
so I
what's
wanted
up.
to show it and give a shout out to them. It's currently waiting on a plastic case like the one that my Jason Taylor helmet is residing in. I'm just waiting on the Fanatics to deliver it. So
Shout out
there
to
you go.
Color Commentary. Shout out to the Miami Sports Fanatics, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome group of guys.
Yep. Everybody like and share. Subscribe to Stephen D. Subscribe to Miami Sports Fanatics. Hit up the Fins Tailgate. We're always there late night.
Yep.
Appreciate
You
everybody.
guys got the evenings, I got the mornings, and that's how it works. All right, be good, bro.
Yep, you too.
All right,
Appreciate it.
All right, Crypto, final thought of the day.
Appreciate it, Stephen. Having us good discussion this morning. You know, you never know until you never know. Anything can happen. You know, the unpredictable has happened. Once upon a time, there was a time in Miami Dolphin world that nobody wanted to trade first round picks to pay anybody $30 million. Then Tyreek Hill happened. So anything can happen, you know, as far as what could be done on any team and any day. So
that's right.
Don't never think the unexpected could happen, even if this so-called 1 year rental that you think the Jets won't do. You just never know. Things can happen. Even if they were to get them, it's just more competition. Just we got to be on our A game. So we can't be afraid that another team will get him in our division, and we create all kind of backward scenarios on why those teams wouldn't get him just because we want them. No, if they get him, they can have him. That we just gonna have to put on a game plan to defeat them.
That's right.
Well, who we got? So we can't be afraid just because he go elsewhere and we think he should have came to us. Fine, it'd be fine if we do get him, but all is not lost. If the Jets get him, fine. That's what I predicted in the first place 2 weeks ago, that he might end up going there because they don't want to lose out because they lost out on on Tyreek Hill big time in a 2-team race for him. You think they're not going to put all their chips on the table for this time around? They're not going to want to lose to us 2 times. So if they get them, so be it. We still can beat them. That's what it boils down to.
You mean
and this notion that San Francisco all of a sudden is going to become a Division A team because they lose one player. I got news for you. They got good coaching staff. They got good offensive players, good defensive players. They got a division that's kind of, only one team in that division is really elite. That's playing elite. Arizona was playing elite, but they only played them 4 times between them 2 teams. They could play other teams real well. And in that weekend conference, as everybody came to the AFC. So I don't expect San Francisco to fall off a cliff because they lose one guy. They wasn't built on one guy. That Debo became that guy only in the second half of the season because of the running back scenario. They would have been perfectly fine if all those running backs would have been healthy. They would have been still the same 49ers.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Crypto. All right, man. Thank you for coming on today, bro. I love having you.
I'll go next. I'll go next.
I appreciate it. All right, hey, real quick before that happens, just want to remind y'all. Here, let me take this off here. Just want to remind y'all a couple things. Number one, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel. Want to try to get to 10,000 subscribers, so subscribe to the channel. Share this link even after the show's over. Let people know we had a great conversation today. And donate to the channel. Donate on Cash App or PayPal. There's less fees on those, so we always asked if you could donate on there. But look, donating no matter where you can is always a great thing. Just like our man, Saxman J. Will, who just donated $10 on YouTube, said, Debo's a great player, but why don't people realize his production was created by McDaniel? We have the creator on our team, so now his production can be duplicated. You bring up a good point, Saxman. You bring up a good point. All right, Estefan, you want to go next? Go ahead, man. Floor is yours. Final thought of the day.
Yeah. Man, I just got to apologize to everybody listening to that remix extended version from Crypto. Oh, my gosh, bro. I thought you were going to go another hour. But, yeah, I love Crypto. Yeah, man, we're going to the Super Bowl this year, man. That's all I got to say. And, this weekend, Shakur Stevenson and Ortiz, title unification boxing, $3.99 on ESPN. Check it out.
Be good, bro. Love you, man.
Can I go next, Steven?
Yep, you sure can. I had you going next, Batman.
Perfect. So I forgot to mention something. I know a lot of people are saying they're tired about this Debo conversation and everything. Miami has a contingency plan in the event that Debo doesn't fall through for Miami. They have a receiver that they are going to bring in. So we're not just let it be known. This receiving core is not going to be the same receiving core going into the season. We are adding another guy. I know exactly who the other guy is, but it would take about 2 months after the draft for us to get him because he currently is under contract. And again, we heard this last night in private. We didn't announce this stuff yesterday with Mauricio, but the Dolphins are looking at another receiver, just as explosive, but not as famous as Debo. That he's out there, but he is under contract, so it would take a little bit. It would take a lot less compensation to get him, and Miami's definitely looking at him in case Debo doesn't fall through. I just wanted to throw that out there. Hey, great show, Steven. Much love. I'm gonna do the comment share on Twitter on your show because obviously you got the best morning show for the Miami Dolphins out there. For everybody listening, if it was your first time, continue listening because this is the best show. Hit that like button and make sure you donate to the channel. So much love and appreciate it, Steven.
Man, Batman, you're gonna go ahead and do that and not tell us. Who? That's just wrong.
All I'm gonna say is this. All I'm gonna say is this. All right, and I'm not gonna say yes or no to the player, but the player wears the same number as Waddle. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
let that sink in. I'm not gonna say yes.
All right, start Googling 11s in the NFL.
10s. 10.
Or 10s.
Yep. All right, Batman. Thank you, brother. All right, Todd. Final thought of the day, my man. Final thought of the day.
You know what? If we get Debo, we're going to lead the league in scoring. That will be a given. With the running game we'll have with those 3 receivers, it would be scary. I don't agree with all the picks and players given up, but I just got to trust what they're going to do now. I kind of trust this regime a little bit more with what they've been doing. Greer actually said he's going to be aggressive, and he's been aggressive. So it's going to be a great season. I just needed to hurry up and get here. Fins up, everybody.
All right, man. Appreciate it, brother. Be good. All right, man. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. I enjoyed hanging out with y'all today. I apologize for being a little tad late to the party, but we still got 3 hours in today. We got a great show in today. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed hanging out with y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it too. Tomorrow's Throwback Thursday. We'll be hanging out tomorrow, but tomorrow will be draft day. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm not planning on doing any draft coverage. So y'all go wherever it is that people are doing draft coverage. I won't be doing it. But you can follow me on Twitter at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. What I would love for y'all to do is donate to the channel and help the channel grow. It's a big deal if y'all can do that. There's a couple different ways you guys can do it. Cash App and PayPal. MSM Podcast Network on both. The $sign in front of the Cash App. Remember, if you guys do it on Cash App or PayPal, I double your entry. So instead of just one entry for $10, you'll get 2 entry for $10. So if you do it on Cash App or PayPal, I double the entries. And this weekly giveaway is courtesy of a sponsor of our show, ZSM Sports. Zachary and ZSM are absolutely amazing. We love it, man. So make sure you all do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Friday, we'll be giving away this Patrick Surtain jersey. So make sure you guys are donating. Donate. This is one of the biggest items we've ever had on the show. And I think at $10 to get in, it's a steal. Honestly, and like I said, if you donate $50, I triple your entries. If you donate it. It's going to be awesome. Tomorrow's show is Throwback Thursday to great drafts and bust picks in our history. # come on, Stephen D. That sounds like fun. I think we'll do that, Fonjo. You're going to co-host with me tomorrow, right, Fonjo? That's what that sounds like. Fonjo, you're going to co-host with me. So that'll be a lot of fun. So weekly giveaway to make sure that's on Friday. Go ahead and donate to the channel. Guys, I had a lot of fun with you. Tomorrow, let's do it. Hopefully I'll have a big announcement on Friday about a show early next week with some really cool people that y'all know and love. So, all right. I love y'all. Y'all be good. I will see y'all tomorrow right here on Throwback Thursday, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Let's go.